going on, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, boy. Welcome to our second live today. Oh, we got to get to it, y'all. Tiffany Lambduck Henyard had an interview because you just can't make this up. And she decided to try to dodge a couple questions. And I'm like, okay, why did you do this interview? What's the point? So this is coming from Hot Mike in 30. I'm not sure if this is the people that conducted the interview, if this is their YouTube channel. But as you all can see, it says embattled former mayor Tiffany Henyard, now Republican, because she wants everybody to know that hoping for a Georgia commissioner seat that she will not win. Super Stupid could care less about District 5, the people that she's trying to represent. You don't see her out campaigning. She's not out doing, any debates or anything. And so people ought to be tired of that. People should be sick of electing, officials and representatives to represent them, and they're not earning it by at least presenting a platform or having a debate against their opponents. Nope. Can you imagine Tiffany Henyard in a debate? Just want y'all to pause and think about that. Pause and think about that for a minute. We here in the Lady Luck Club have reported on Super Stupid. That's what I call her. You don't like it, kick rocks. I don't care. We reported on her. She has a whole playlist on my channel. Gone over several lawsuits, court filings that she has had filed against her, whether she was solely named or named as a co-defendant. And the things that was stated in those court filings as background facts that had documentation to support it, such as her removing the village clerk from a bank account. That happened. She went to court for that. The trustees in Dalton sued her for that. And guess what? They reached a settlement. Funny how no one wants to remember that. Because they gone to trial on that. Guess what came up? Discovery. Those bank documents would have been presented to the court in a trial hearing as discovery. They would have submitted it as evidence through testimony to show that Tiffany Henyard went to a bank, signed her name to remove the village clerk, violating state law and local ordinances, and then adding 2 people to the bank account that should have never been added in accordance with local ordinances and state law. And then she comes from the court hearing after having agreed to allow, at the time, Jason House was the mayor, pro temp. After agreeing to allow him to stay on the bank account along with the village clerk, she goes to a meeting and lies and says, they took me off the bank account. No, you dumbass heifer. You agreed to settle. And as a part of that settlement, you agreed for Jason House to remain as mayor pro tem on the bank account. Because you knew you never wanted those bank documents to come up as evidence to show where you had to sign your name on bank documents that can and will be used against you in the court of law, that the FBI definitely has, to have the village clerk removed without her knowledge or permission, without approval from the board. These are the things that she has done that violated law. And you have the hentards, as I call them, sitting here trying to defend that bullshit because of reasons. It's all ridiculous. It's like she pays her bills or something. So none of them are ever going to read those documents, but we did here in the Lady Luck Club. I did a whole video on it. Whatever. Yes, I call her super stupid, and then you got people out here. Oh, you call her that? Why is she sitting here removing people against laws of bank accounts? We're not going to talk about how criminal that is. But yet she won't ever admit that she agreed to allow Jason House to remain on the account as a part of the resolution for the settlement. Yeah, because Discovery is something else, Tiffany Henyard. Ain't that right? So this is the stuff that she's done. I have read about in court documents. I don't just make up stuff just on her. I can just read all her lawsuits and get what I need from that. And that's what I've done. So I have a playlist of that where I've done nothing but that. And yes, I do have my opinion on her. It shall remain. She's an idiot. Then, it's so funny. The Henyard sit here and kiss her ass, these simps and stuff. These grown men be sipping after her. And she not stunned none of them. Funny how that works. Cult leaders don't care about the cult members because they know the cult members are going to have this undying loyalty to them. No, they watch their ops. Hi, super stupid. I know you listen to you stupid ass. All right, let's get to this because we're here for it. And that's what y'all here for. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. Oh, man, this is something else. So we reported on her a lot last year until she lost like hell up there in Dalton. She lost the mayoral position as well as the supervisory role in Thornton Township. And so Dalton is a village, not a city. They get offended when you say that. Hey, what else? I just want to make sure you guys have the rundown. Oh, man, history will not repeat itself. We will talk about her and report on her. And we're going to keep living. The end. That's how it works, super stupid. Period. Why she can't do a debate is my question. What is her platform again? What policies and stuff does she want to implement and put in place? She want people to take her seriously running for commissioner in Fulton County here. But then she goes up there to Dalton trying to be seen to rub it in, I guess, about a man who lost his life outside of a cigar restaurant, the cigar lounge, where they had cameras installed. Because cameras, it can be used as evidence. As an independent journalist, people send me things too. My research power is something else. I just know how to utilize that information. And I don't sit here and put out stuff that should not be put out. But this man lost his life in front of a cigar restaurant where they had cameras. And super stupid takes her ass up there trying to make it all about her and rub it in with the dogs, with the trustees and Jason House and nanny boo boo. I told you all they suck. It's like, a man lost his life. He had 2 kids. But see, we're supposed to consider her having a daughter, but she didn't think about his 2 kids that lost their father. But we don't go after the kids. But if we're going to sit here and consider her daughter, why is she not considering this man's 2 kids that no longer have a dad? That lost his life outside of a cigar restaurant. He had 2 children. And she goes up there and tries to nanny boo boo that moment. Yeah, if you don't kick rocks. What about his 2 kids? Is super raising funds to help his 2 kids? Because she could do that. She thinks she has influence. She could raise the money, set up a GoFundMe or Save Go Now, whatever, for the 2 children of the man that lost his life in front of this cigar restaurant. Why she want to sit up here and bring attention to herself? Oh, she was just doing that to be an asshole? Yeah, of course she was. But let the simps and the dumbasses tell it and the hentards. Boy, they see nothing wrong with that bullshit. Okay. Can't make this up. So we're going to check this out. This is going to be a watch party, I guess. Of this interview that she did. FYI, she could be just as irritating as Candice or Umar. Just dumber. Yeah. That's what you're in for. All right. So y'all hit the 4 where you can see in here. Let's get to it. I haven't even seen this. Shout out to Jay Witt. He did a
Have the feds contacted you?
I have nothing to do with anything that's going on.
What? He took somebody off the bank account.
Welcome to Hot Mike in 30. I'm Nate Rogers here with my girl, my sister, the legendary Beyonce Fox. I can't believe it's so. Is this real?
Yes, it's real.
This is real.
I ain't nothing. Come on now.
Beyonce, the mic is hot.
I know. The mic is hot and 30. And for the next 30 minutes, we are going to give you a whole lot about pop culture, entertainment, politics.
Everything. Entertainment,
sports. You name it, we're going to tell you that in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And what we want you to do is like, share, and subscribe to us right here on YouTube because we don't want you to miss a thing.
We don't. But listen, 30 minutes. We talked about how before we were launching this podcast, Beyonce and I said there are a lot of podcasts out there, and we want to give people some substance in just 30 minutes.
Yes.
And so we want to jump right in. This person has made national headlines. Everybody has got her name in their mouth, and we want to figure out a little bit why. She's a former mayor of Dalton in Illinois, also the former township supervisor for Thornton Township. Welcome, Tiffany Henyard. Hey, Tiff.
Hey.
How you feeling?
I feel good. Thanks for having me.
Good.
Yeah.
How was Chicago treating you? Why you here for now? Because we know you left us.
Oh, yeah, I had to. But it's treating me good. A lot of love.
Why she had to leave? I thought she loved her people in her city, in her town where she grew up and blah, blah, blah. She just packed up and left. No one found that odd. Super stupid. Are you pregnant? You having a baby? She pregnant? Super stupid. You look pregnant. Is she pregnant? Y'all know that? Because anyone know? She look pregnant. At some point, that baby's going to tell on you, girl. You can't make this up. Did I say hello to you all in the chat? Hi, y'all. Hey, Mindy. Saint, shout out to my mods. Zoe, welcome back. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Francisca, I just want to make sure I got it in. I'm so sorry if I did not get the chance to speak to all of you all. Mama love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And LLC will say, bless you and your family as well. Absolutely. Mindy, you here? Let's see here. I'm familiar, but to hear about it. Oh, yeah, she's a piece of work. Zoe, she's a piece of work. She's the female version of Umar, except she was a mayor and a township supervisor. Yeah. Not even in the major city. In the outskirts of Chicago. It's crazy how corrupt people can be. Oopsies. Got you. Let's see here. Shout out to Jay Witt. Yeah, he did do a video on this covering this. So make sure you guys go check out my brother in Christ, my Morehouse brother, Jay Witt. Oh, Lord have mercy. Hit that like button as well. They're doing this for substance.
Poor. Okay. A lot of people miss me, but that's how I go. They miss you when you gone.
I don't think it mattered to her, her cult following. They didn't want her to leave, but I don't understand why she left them behind. Why did she leave? Super stupid. You cannot outrun the FBI. You just can't. Period. If you have nothing to hide, you cannot outrun them. You understand they can cross states and cross state lines because they have that jurisdiction. They're a federal agency. So they're not just specifically tied down to one state. They can get you wherever you are in the United States of America. Leave the country and they can have you extradited here. I mean, it's that simple. We know how to negotiate to have someone released.
Do you miss the drama?
Of course not. Okay. I'm drama free. I'm really a positive, uplifting person.
Yeah.
But I am.
She went back there when this young man lost his life outside of a cigar restaurant to try to rub it in the new mayor and the trustee's face. She tried to rub it in. Talk about she's a positive person. Unbelievable. It was so disgusting. I couldn't even play the parts of the video where she was talking because I refused to play that on my platform of her trying to rub it in all on the death of someone because she could have gone back anytime. At any time, she could just go back and visit randomly. No, she goes back when the now mayor is getting questioned about his relationship with someone who took a man's life outside of his cigar restaurant. And she's like, oh, see? I tried to tell y'all they corrupt, but yet you don't want to answer questions about an FBI investigation that you claim you're not a part of. It's funny how that works. Girl, bye, Felicia.
They're entertainment, so here we are.
I think some people say I'm drama free. We got to talk about that first question. Though. We're gonna start with the good. We want to know about you. We want to know some of the good things about your career.
And you made history being first, the youngest, and then also the first woman to become mayor of Dalton. That's kind of a big deal. Yes. So, what would you say are some of your accomplishments, or what do you think that was maybe overshadowed or you didn't get props for?
Yeah, all the good that I did in the hood, because that's where we come from, right? So Dalton is.
They're saying name it. What good did you do? Hey, questions are hard for her. So food boxes. She gave out name brand food boxes. She also had, no, it's not a good thing that she had the village clerk removed from the bank account. She got hit with many lawsuits. She infringed upon First Amendment rights and free speech. She locked everybody out of City Hall. Never mind. They said good things. Okay, never mind.
A small village in the suburbs of Chicago. And basically, they weren't getting the proper care. It was everybody that wanted to take the seat, but nobody wanted to actually do the work. So I stepped up to the plate. Everybody believed in me. I was a trustee for 8 years prior to running for mayor. So I had the experience and I had the gumption. A lot of people don't get that. So I went in.
Is the word gumption?
Blazing. And when I went in blazing,
you did.
I won by landslide. I won by over 90% of the vote. And basically I ran against, I'm going to say their name, but the prior person before me. And when I won, I did become the first female, youngest ever mayor. And I was young and hip. And you know how it go. When you're young and hip, they want to stay.
She was also charging her beauty stylist's fees against taxpayers' dollars. Her hairstylist was on the payroll, as opposed to her taking her paycheck and then paying her hairstylist, her beautician, for all the wigs that she wears. No, she was charging that against tax dollars. As if her 6-figure salary was not sufficient enough for her to pay for her own damn hairstylist. It's the entitlement for me. And then people want to say, oh, that's not a big deal. Why should we be okay with anyone doing something like that? And here she is now trying to run for Fulton County Commissioner of District 5 in Fulton County in the state of Georgia with no platform. You see what happens when you just spoil idiots and let them do what they want to do and don't hold them accountable? They think they can just come from state to state to state to state doing the same dumb shit. And she can't tell you one thing, one initiative, one policy change or anything that she wants to initiate or pass for her district. Not one thing. Yeah, because reading is not fundamental for her.
Type you, they will put you in a bubble. And I just couldn't allow that. I still wanted to be me. I didn't want to lose me inside of politics.
She didn't want to pay for the hairstyles.
So when I did that and I gave it a little flavor, now I was too flamboyant. I was too jazzy. I'm missing that. If you had your hair done, makeup, nails, now you got to be stealing. Why?
Because they were on the payroll. You should have been paying them out of your personal income, you dumbass. No, you left them on the payroll for the taxpayers to pay for your hairstylist. That is not a necessity to you. Not at all. You got paid a salary. You could have paid for your wigs and your hairstylist out of your income. No one cares that you get your hair and nails done. They cared about the fact that you were using tax dollars to pay for it as if you weren't making any money. You don't know, as the supervisor of Thornton Township, that this heifer got a car allowance that was $1,100 a month. So she had these two salaries coming in simultaneously, and somehow she couldn't pay for her own damn wig. I mean, using credit cards to go buy meals and all this stuff, eating out and not cheap stuff. No, she's going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. That's something like me and my kids can do on Christmas or something like that. You know, this helper was doing it because it's Tuesday. And want the taxpayers to pay that bill. See, the idea is for you to eat food. Why couldn't you use your money to pay for all that Ruth Chris Steakhouse? Why are you using the Village of Dalton's credit card for that? It's not even the matter of her doing these things. It's the fact that she wanted tax dollars to pay for it. Why she did what with her paycheck? Because her overhead wasn't that high. It just wasn't. What was Siggy doing again? Didn't you work? Wasn't Siggy working? So Siggy wasn't helping to pay bills at all. Didn't he pay rent? Is he working now? This is why she's trying to be Fulton County Commissioner. She doesn't want to get a regular job, and Siggy don't want to work at all. They just want to have a store with skateboards and shit. And neither one of them wants to do anything meaningful. So they go for what she's trying to become a career politician. Let me just do whatever's easiest to get a 6-figure salary. Do something where I don't have to go to school or have a degree or be smart or read a book about it. Don't even have to create a platform. How dare anybody ask me to tell them what my policies are? Hair and nails and politicking.
Why can't you show up prepared for the job that you ran to get? But if you came and you wasn't fly, then it's dang, she could have combed her hair. Dang, she could at least put some makeup on. It's you're not gonna win.
Before we get to the criticism, though, seriously, I want to talk about like the roofs that your administration was instrumental in getting on a lot of seniors' homes, all of the toy drives. Tell us some of those things that people will forever praise you for.
Sure. So what people didn't know about.
No, we give God praise. We don't give a mere mortal that. No, the devil is a liar. We're not doing that. No one should do that. This is how people walk around thinking they're cult leaders. And should she get kudos for a food box? I thought the other one said they want to keep him chicken nugget. I thought his ass was the one sitting here trying to take the credit for the food boxes. You mean to tell me two people could not somehow decide to just do name brand food? So both need to take credit for it. How's this going? This same idiot can't come up with a policy or platform, though, to try to justify why she wants people to vote for her in Fulton County to be a commission. Funny how they didn't even put that as her title under her name. No, they put former mayor of Dalton, but not Fulton County Commissioner candidate. Republican. Anything. Nope. So she lives in the past, but gets mad when people still ask her questions about the past. Got it.
My background is in business management accounting. So that's what my business degree that you're a former. Hold on. I'm not gonna win.
Before we get to the criticism, though, seriously, I want to talk about like the roofs that your administration was instrumental in getting on a lot of seniors' homes, all of the toy drives. Tell us some of those things that people will forever praise you for.
Sure. So what people didn't know about me is my background is in business management accounting. So that's what my.
No one knew that. No one knew that. You act as if super stupid. You're the only one that walk around this earth priding yourself in not reading books. You don't think the rest of us could have Googled that and found that out? We don't care that you have a degree. You don't seem to be you're not using it. You couldn't get a burger business off the ground. You still cannot explain why you did not charge wigs to your personal bank account. And yet it's still, we're supposed to know this about a degree, and for what now? You still don't have a platform, and you want people to vote for you in Fulton County. Why do we care about your degree? That has nothing to do with whether or not you will be a good candidate as a Republican for anything in Fulton County. Absolutely. absolutely irrelevant. Objection, Your Honor. We don't care.
Business degree that your former mayor claim I don't have that I do have, and basically, we talk about that in a minute. You say you want the tea, you gonna get it from me today.
She's talking about Chicago. Okay,
I got it.
So basically, we went after grants. And it was a need in my community because a lot of seniors are on fixed incomes. They come there and it's a retirement area, basically in South Suburbs. So in doing so, they didn't have money or extra funds to fix, whether they had a hole in the roof. A lot of people had raccoons living in their roofs, things of that nature. So basically we put the program together where it fit for the seniors. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of slack from the regular people that say, what about me? Yeah. But right now I cared about the seniors because they didn't have the money. The regular people, they still can work a job. They still can afford those type of things. So I'm
sorry, anyone telling Siggy that? Siggy, you can still work a regular job and you can afford to pay for your own skateboard. Anyone gonna tell him that? How about he go and get a regular job and go to work? You and this idiot try to somehow swindle people into believing that you just love Fulton County. And yet you keep talking about what happened in Thornton Township and in the village of Dalton. And then you take your ass back up there and forget that you moved to Fulton County because it's, you was in a video. You got caught on camera. And trying to rub it in Jason House's face somehow that a man lost his life. As opposed to you going to Jason House and saying, you need to have this guy turned in. Do a citizen's arrest or something. You're the mayor. But he needs to go to jail. They had probable cause to have him arrested and locked up and held until he had a trial, or at least until he had a bail hearing. This is absolutely insane. A man has lost his life. And you all are worried about one person buying a building and opening a business, when if you do the right thing, Jason House, guess what happens? More people will invest because they see you doing the right thing. People see, oh, okay, he does care about this man's life and the two children left behind. He's not trying to put this person ahead of a man who lost his life simply because he bought some businesses. There are others out here with money that might be motivated to do the same if you did the right thing. The Pope came from Dalton, from the village of Dalton. That alone, they could have taken that and maximized it. They didn't. It's like missed opportunities all over the place. You bought the Pope's house, but you did nothing with it. You didn't even turn it into a tourist attraction or put businesses around it. Nothing. And now you don't want someone to go to jail that took someone's life because he bought a cigar restaurant and a fitness center. What you mean? As if no one else on earth could possibly do that. See, when you do the right thing, God will open doors up for other things to happen on a bigger scale. Sometimes it's just a matter of passing the test on this one thing right here. Hold this one person accountable for taking someone's life, and who knows what blessings could be in store because you chose to do what was right. It's like they're more afraid of this cigar business closing. The audacity. But a man lost his life in front of it. Right in front of it. What are we talking about? And she goes up there and just try to rub it in the trustee's face. It's not because she cared about this young man and knew him, wanted to advocate for the shooter to actually go to prison. Nope. I told y'all they were corrupt. Now y'all believe me when I say that? What the hell you up here for? Aren't you supposed to be trying to prove that you live in Fulton County? But it's the audacity for me.
Gearing it towards those that didn't have it, and it was audacity, man. A lot of roofs got fixed, a lot of leaky windows got fixed, and after that, I was getting too much credit. So as I was getting the credit, my hating board was hating and saying, "Well, how's she doing this?" And I bought it before the board. I bought a lot of things before the board, but they don't show you that, and that's the part that I don't like about politics, because the statement goes, "If you can trick them, you can beat them." So if they trick the residents to believe in this, then guess what? Here I am, right?
You should just put that
I don't like about politics because the statement goes, if you can trick them, you
can't make this up. They put this up like that was like, this is so cool, so profound. Oh, we did not know this at all. What an awesome slogan to put up. Well, we are trying to offer people something of substance. No, we're not going to ask her about her platform and policies she wants to implement, being Fulton County Commissioner and all. Ow. If you can trick them, you can beat them. Dear Fulton County District 5, this idiot plans on tricking you all so she can beat her opponents for a position she still has not earned. Then you can't make this up. This is her slogan. Super stupid. You're an idiot.
can beat them. So if they trick the residents to believing this, then guess what?
Man.
Here I am, right? But if the resident was just did research and fact check stuff, they would see.
No, people read and fact check. I read lawsuits and court filings all day, and that still, she was still calling everybody a hater. Oh, you're a hater because we can read and you can't. Oh no, politrick is not a word, and she still says it. Like she's gonna force that into the English language. This is the level of her intellect right here. This is the zenith of her intellect, coming up with words like politrick.
That I truly cared for them. Now they's feeling it. Now I get calls left and right about, man, Tiffany, come back. We miss you. We need you. Run again. We sorry. We didn't know. And it's a lot of haters that's actually praising me now that wasn't back then.
Sure.
So it's going good.
Start a little bit.
No one should be praising a mere mortal. She didn't die on a cross for anybody. What are we doing? This is how you turn mere mortals into cult leaders. By doing things to them that you should be doing to God. Is this for real? See, they started this nonsense talking about it. Tell us all the things people should be praising you for. Nothing. I'm sorry. Perhaps we missed what happened on Calvary in the Bible because Tiffany Henyard was not there. What are we talking about? We're not praising her for shit.
From the beginning, in terms of so the trustee seat, 8 years.
Yes.
If somebody were to ask you, Tiff, what weren't you prepared for? Did you know that the criticism would grow this large? Did you know, are there some missteps that you would honestly say, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done this? Do you think at times you were too flashy, or what does that look like for you? What were some missteps? Make this stuff up.
So my definition of misstep is picking bums that was looking for crumbs to run on my ticket.
What? That's not the definition of the word misstep. Oh, you can't. Boy, this is something else. Oh, Lord have mercy. She's just making up shit. The definition of the word misstep, a clumsy or badly judged step. She said picking bombs and taking crumbs on her ticket. You see where this cult-like complex comes from? Her ticket. You didn't have to run. No one told you to do that. All because you didn't want to just go get a regular job. Umar number 2. So we're just making up definitions of terms. Perhaps next time you all look up the word stupid, her face will be next to it.
So that would be my missteps because I picked people that I felt needed a second chance.
My bull. If they just can run on their own.
I'm the one that made them who they are. And this ain't me being cocky.
I made them who they are. In a village where it was 22,000 people. I mean, could they go on their own? Probably. I mean, would it matter? They could test that theory out and just run without her and see if they win or lose. Oh my God. Being the loudest person in the room does not make you the smartest because she makes up words like politrick and change the definition of misstep.
It's facts. They didn't ran 4-5 times this ignorance until they got with the winner. When they got with me, they won their seat. So when they sat there and tried to recall me when I just got in office, it's like, how you recall somebody and I just got in office and brought you across the finish line. And that's when the turmoil happened because the outside noise was interfering.
Didn't these trustees win without her last year? These same trustees. Yeah. Many of them that were up re-election, they won without her. Is that hard to prove with a population of 22,000 people? Now, the real hurdle is you going to run for anything in Fulton County using the words politic. You claim to be a Republican. They don't have time for your buffoonery.
With my board members when we was a unit. So once they start getting to all of them, this is how it started going. It started just fading away. And then from there, it was no trust with anybody. And I had to fight that fight. So my misstep is that. But another misstep I would say is allowing people to pick and choose the people around you. Because you got to understand, they have to vote for those individuals. And they picked a lot of individuals, and I had to agree with it. So when I go out to the forefront, you'll see a unified front. But they say, well, you agree, I had no choice. So if I didn't agree, then I don't get nobody. Because at the end of my career, basically, I could not get assisted. How and who? What, like meaning?
No. It's so funny. You couldn't do a lot of things because the things you did violated laws, such as you removing the village clerk off the bank account. You broke state law as well as local ordinances and resolutions doing that. You know, local ordinances are like local laws. Laws are laws. It is what it is. She won't tell people that my attorneys and I agreed to settle the matter by allowing the pro temp at the time, Jason House, to remain on the bank account, and they had to put the village clerk back on it. While she agreed to remain off of it because she didn't want all that discovery from the bank coming up, where she signed her name on the dotted line to take the village clerk off without the board's permission or approval or authorization whatsoever. And they have laws in place for a reason. She's not above the rule of law. And somehow she thinks she is. And all the hentards are just sitting here praising her for food boxes and shit. That's it. Oh, she gave us name brand food boxes and prizes for bingo's night and all that. Yeah, now somehow that should trump over her violating laws to take off a village clerk from the bank account for the village of Dalton, my lord. Yeah, because laws are laws. Whether you like them or not is irrelevant. Who gives you the authority to violate it and be so brazen and bold with it? No, all this stuff is in court documents. But no, people aren't interested in that because they think she's above the rule of law. Oh, well, she made some mistakes. No, she broke the fucking law. What are we talking about? Anyone else doing some bullshit like that would have went to jail. Jail. Anyone else would have went to jail. Jail. It's fraud. No matter how you put it. Bank fraud. It's fraud. And when you sign those bank documents, you know what you're doing? Assessing and affirming that the information is true and accurate to the best of your ability under the penalty of perjury. Those bank documents can be used in court. You took off the village clerk and added 2 people on it. I went over the stuff. And they were not authorized by any resolution or state law to be added to those bank accounts. You do not get to do what you want to do because then every mayor in any state in the United States of America would be doing the same thing. There's a reason why laws are in place. It serves as a check and balance to keep people from just being randomly added to your local county or village or city's bank account. And yet this gets pushed off to the side like it was, that's, it's the equivalent of her saying the word politic. Oh, it's just a slip of the tongue. What do you mean? But anyone else would have went to jail. Jail. she agreed to settle with the Dalton trustees and their attorney to allow Jason House to remain. This is why she was still mayor. To allow Jason House as mayor pro temp to remain on that bank account. And they had to add the village clerk back to it because that was written in the local ordinance. Reading is fundamental for a reason. See, all these things the FBI has. Keep on thinking that it's not a big deal, you dumbass. Keep on. You and the dumb hentards and all your little simps, grown ass men sitting here kissing your ass. Keep on thinking that is not a big deal.
What mayor do you know don't have an assistant? I didn't have one. At the end, they blocked me from everything that I needed to continue to succeed.
But what do you think that is, though? It was like you were flying high, you were on billboards, helping the elderly, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Which was controversial. A lot of people were saying, hey, does the mayor of this small town, if you will, need to have a face on the billboards, let alone where the money came from? That's what some of the critics would say.
So it's the hate and envy that came with the seat. Because what's any different when a man had?
We care about the mayor's position like that in a village of 22,000 people. We're gonna hate that position of all mayoral positions on earth in the United States of America. Now let's just hate the one in the village of Dalton. We didn't even know that village existed. Many of us didn't until you became a global phenomenon for all the wrong reasons. We reported on your corruption. I primarily focus on the lawsuits and the court filings for a reason. There's a reason. I'm very intentional in the way I move. Not everything in the village of Dalton, just specific things for a specific purpose. And yet, here she is, pretending as if an FBI investigation was not launched while she was a sitting mayor and supervisor. She wants to pretend like she didn't agree with the attorneys representing the trustees to keep her dumb ass off of that bank account. Yeah, no, because, we can just... I went over the court documents. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of reading. Reading is so fundamental. You can't make this up. Somehow, we should all be hating on the one mayoral position in the village of Dalton, where the population is, 23,000 people. Yeah, forget Fulton County. Never mind that. Now, if you're going to hate on anything, you should be definitely hating on the mayoral position of the village of Dalton. And nothing else. Kick rock.
They was doing the exact same thing that you saw me doing. What's the difference? A lot of people that was before me did the exact same thing. Bradley Rogers was the mayor before I took his seat. He did the exact same thing by putting his face, his name on everything. Frank Zuccarelli was the supervisor before I became the supervisor. His name, face was on everything. He had a township magazine. He had calendars with his face and name all over it. He had boxes with his name on it. His trucks with his name on it. What's the difference? But when a woman takes it over, it's a problem. Why is that? The salary. Let's talk about the salary. And I ain't trying to take over your interview, but we don't go there. So why is it when he?
So you're gonna explain why you bought your wigs with tax dollars and not your own money? It's not like you weren't making enough money to buy your own damn wigs. Well, why was your cosmetologist being paid, your beautician, being paid through the village of Dalton and not being paid directly from money from your bank account, your personal bank account that belonged to you and not the village of Dalton? And she tried to lie about that. I don't know if you all remember Tommy G. He went out there twice. The second time Tommy G went out there, he had the documentation where he proved that she had been paying for her wigs with tax dollars. No one cares that she wants to wear wigs. Why are you using tax dollars to buy those damn wigs? That is not something they were obligated to pay for. But yet people want to excuse this bullshit and say, yeah, well, but so-and-so did this and that. You finger pointing. Who gives a fuck about that? You have to answer to what you did. You see, on Judgment Day, which will be a rude awakening for her and all the hentards, when you stand before God, you will stand alone. And God is going to ask you about the things you did. You can't stand there and tell God, well, Zach Zuccarelli, he, the other mayor, he was doing all this, the supervisor, He had faces on boxes. And you can't stand before God and say that. God don't want to hear that. So you still have not learned how to grow up and answer questions like a grown woman and take some level of accountability. She'll never learn how to do that. It's going to take the FBI. Oh, okay, cool.
He had the salary. He had it for 30 years. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know Frank made that kind of money. Mm-hmm. But when I got
just to make sure the people are aware. Sure. So we're talking.
My bad. I said Zach. I meant Frank Zuccarelli. My bad. Frank Zuccarelli.
Remember, two different seats you are. We're talking about the mayor of Dalton seat, and we're talking about the supervisor of Thornton Township. Supervisor of Thornton Township, that's the $200,000 plus salary.
Correct. Yes, that Frank Zuccarelli had. Mm-hmm. And when I got appointed to the seat, it came with the seat. I didn't make it up. I didn't create it. It came with it. Mm-hmm. But then everybody want to talk about how much money I make. Mm-hmm. Whereas in Dalton, I made $50,000 to $60,000.
Well, that's because...
So it's come on.
But in Thornton Township, you made six figures and you had an allowance for your car. You got travel allowances and reimbursements that were insurmountable. It's like, why is she getting this much back? You don't even see that type of allowance for larger cities where you have a bigger population. You just don't. But she's not talking about the salary in Thornton Township where it was six figures. She's talking about what was in Dalton. You know, the village of Dalton where the maximum population was 23,000 people. It would be weird if your salary was higher than that. But yet and still, you got paid no matter how many times you locked everybody out of City Hall. No matter how many times she infringed upon the First Amendment rights and freedom of speech of others, she still got paid. Go figure. And yet she wants to run for Fulton County Commissioner for District 5, a district she knows nothing about. She doesn't. And if she does win, she's going to be hemorrhaging that $1 billion budget. Oh, she's going to hemorrhage that money. And then people here in Fulton County will be like, I told y'all so. No Republicans should be getting behind this bullshit. For what? She only switched parties to run for this position. She didn't want the competition as a Democrat. And she's bigly mad because she lost. This is the epitome of somebody that's walking around here, a scorned woman. Oh, she's so scorned. She's so mad that she lost that she switched parties and left the entire state of Illinois. What you moving to Georgia for? No. The FBI is still going to keep doing their thing behind the scenes. Then I got to stop because you moved to Georgia. And I thought her father was shot. Where's your father at? You didn't move your father in with you? Siggy, you and Super need to make room and move her father in. You know, get him out the neighborhood where he was shot. Why would you leave him up there? Oh my God, Super, you suck.
But it come with the seat. I don't make that up when I go to take the seat.
Sure, the mic is hot. Just playing devil's advocate. That's because if I remember correctly, it was something about there was some vote, whereas if the vote wasn't made or something like that, then the salary would go down drastically below $200,000 something like that.
So let me educate the public on how it works.
Yeah, how did that?
So Frank Zuccarelli had an ordinance on the book, and that's why I tell everybody for you. And I lead everybody to the water. They got to drink it though, right?
You don't need
I'm going to tell you where to go get the answer from, but they don't go.
Stop. You effing up. You don't need to FOIA the laws. You can just look them up. Laws are codified in the United States of America, even on a state level. So there's state law that was passed where the now supervisor of Thornton Township, Napoleon Harris, aka football head, had it implemented to where the salary for that supervisor by law cannot be changed. Because of course he was not going to accept $40,000 or $50,000 or $25,000. Where was supposed to go down to? Because she's talking about Frank Zuccarelli. I don't know why I keep saying Zach. Frank Zuccarelli, who was the supervisor of Thornton Township, not mayor of the village of Dalton. So You're talking about a 6-figure salary that he earned over 20 years. He served as supervisor for over 20 years. I want to make sure I'm child. Yeah, he served for supervisor of Thornton Township for over 20 years. So you would think all that time he served that he would get to a point where he's making 6 figures. Well, because he passed away, she came into that role with like a midnight vote. I mean, we watched the actual vote of her becoming supervisor for Thornton Township. It was so dirty. They robbed everybody of their vote. And the board of trustees just kind of voted her in. And they didn't get the input or vote from the residents at all. So she inherited that income that he was making upon his death. It's that simple. The problem is when you have a new election start, the ordinance at the time before Napoleon the football head had to change and new state law implemented, that salary was going to go back down to like 20-some thousand. So that's what happened with the salary position for the Thornton Township football head, who's a sitting senator still, I believe, or at the time was a senator, was able to get a law passed, hidden inside a bill about Crohn's disease. Bills become law when they get passed through the House. So, or passed through our legislative branch of government. That became law now for this salary to remain the same, so it can't change. Just so football head can be happy about making 6 figures. It's that simple. So had that law not passed, the salary would have went back down upon the next election. So she's not even going to tell you how that takes place correctly. And for her to sit here is to try to say, I'm going to educate people on something, while you still fail to say the word politic correctly. It's mind-boggling to me. She's not going to pull up any information on this because she never does. And she wants people to just believe what she says, as if no one else can read and do a Google search. You don't need to FOIA laws. You can just read them. You can just look up laws. Oh, God.
So if you FOIA it right now, Thornton Township, you can go say, hey, I would like the ordinances for what we're talking about, the salary. Mm-hmm. It's the ordinance on the books that he had to go back to $50,000 if anybody ran against him. Mm-hmm. It drops automatically to $50K. Mm-hmm. That's what no one ever told anybody, right? Mm-hmm. So then when all the scrutiny came for me, I said, you know what? We're going to make it 25 since everybody crying about the salary. My board, we all voted for it. So again, why is it only my problem? When we all voted for it, we agreed.
Sure.
So we voted to drop it to 25.
No, she wanted it dropped if she lost. She wanted to maintain her salary if she won again. That's for the village of Dalton. What are we talking about? The supervisor salary was set in place by state law from a bill dealing with Crohn's disease. So you're not going to explain this correctly or what?
So, but the news came, it just was a tax 50, but we all voted for it.
Oh my God, you can't.
I can't move without my board.
Yeah, well,
but she did.
I see that. But I also see in terms of just the, when you say you can't move without your boards.
Yeah, but she didn't say anything to the board when she went to the bank and took the village clerk off the bank account and then added 2 random people to the bank account. Super, you care to tell the people who those 2 women were that you added to the bank account? Do you care to share their names? I would rather not. But do you care to share their names, super? Why would you just add these 2 random women to the bank account for the village of Dalton? Which board member told you it's cool to take off the village clerk? You violated local ordinances and state law to do that. So she talks about, I can't make moves without my board, but she's not telling you that she actually made moves without the board. She actually went to a bank signed a document that could be used in the court of law against her and took off the village clerk. And she didn't ask the board, is it okay if I break a whole law in doing this? They didn't give a damn then. It was the bank that had to notify the Dalton trustees to say, hey, did y'all know the village clerk was taking off? What the hell y'all mayor doing? What she's doing? She went to the White House. We don't give a damn about that. She took people off this bank account. The village clerk is no longer on the bank account. Don't y'all have some stuff in place to keep this from happening? Oh, you did pass an ordinance. And she ignored it. She ignored it like hell. Yeah, we'll send over the documents. Okay. That's how that went. She just went to the bank with 2 different women, added it to the bank account, took the village clerk off, and then tried to tell people in a meeting that she had the absolute power and authority to do it. No, you don't. There are local ordinances and state laws that dictate what should happen with the bank account for the village. She ignored laws. And the Hentards will tell you, well, she had the right to do it. I actually had a debate with someone in a comment section or something where they said that dumb shit. And I was like, oh, God, so you don't read either? You really believe that this woman supersedes laws? So you don't read either? Yeah, the FBI and I are both laughing at your dumb ass. We couldn't believe it. People actually believe that shit. They actually believe that she didn't do anything illegal. You can't make this up. Why would you settle in court, super stupid, to leave Jason House on the bank account and to add the village clerk and just remain on there where you can just get like bank statements? She couldn't sign a check. But then come to that meeting lying, talking about they took you off. No, you agreed to stay off of it. That was part of your resolution. Part of that settlement. Because you know that discovery coming into a trial hearing would have been something else. You knew what you were doing. You go to court and say one thing, and you come out and with all this air in your chest. Ugh, they took me out the bank account. Can y'all believe it? No hell for you settled. You know why they didn't go back and forth with her on that? Because they know that if she actually decided to challenge this in the court of law, they had sued her over it. She would have lost. And all of that would have been, oh man, it's available to the public once it hits the courts. And you knew that. Tiffany Henyard, you knew that. You Lambduck. So you settled. That settlement kept that out of court. And you agreed. All right, he can stay on it, sign checks, blah, blah, blah. I won't bother with it. And she didn't. Funny how she didn't bother with it anymore. Something else. It's almost as if she knows she can't supersede the courts. It's funny how that works. But the Hentards do believe that she had the absolute power to do it. Oh, wow. And they can't show you what law she has the power to do something like that under. Tell me the ordinance and the state law where she thought she could supersede and remove the village clerk off the bank account. I would love to see that law. So with the FBI, we're all interested in knowing that.
Some would say in terms of like even the credit card spending. So you had access to credit cards. Those were not board approved. You could just swipe a card.
Oh, no. You got that all false.
Okay, well, educate me.
That's why we need to hear from you, because when I heard about that Amazon bill, I was like, wait a minute now. That much on Amazon?
Right. So that's what I mean when I say fake news. How the spin of how the wordplay go. And how people just say one thing and then people just take it for truth. And it's not.
Well, tell us the truth. What
so
happened?
The truth is I never had a credit card. I never did anything.
That's a lie. That's a whole lie. She got mad when they took her off the bank. Your bank account had a credit card with it. At Fifth Third Bank. Yeah. She came back to a whole meeting. A whole town hall meeting, man. Talking about they took me off the bank account, which she agreed to stay off. It's a settlement. Sweet Jesus. You didn't have access to a credit card? So all those meals you were paying for at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, they were not your credit cards. How were they being paid for again? Oh no, y'all remember when she went to the White House? Yeah, she charged Thornton Township for that, and that should have been charged to the village of Dalton. You didn't have a credit card, so you didn't book a hotel, a meal, or anything. You bought things from Amazon and Wayfair. you didn't. Well, whose credit card did you use? Because we can just look up the information. This stuff has been released to the public, by the way, because reading is still fundamental. You can't make this up. You're not altering reality for the rest of us, super stupid. You and your dumbass cult members can believe that nonsense all day and night until hell freezes over. But the rest of us here on earth, we don't have to believe your bullshit. You do understand this information has been released to the public. You can read this stuff. It has been reported. We've seen the documents. I have literally covered bank statements. You can't make this up. And she talking about never had access to a credit card. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, keep on lying, Helfer. Boy, the FBI's got to be chewing this up. Hey, are you all seeing this? Can someone get the boss? Oh, man, the FBI sitting here watching this interview like, oh, wow. So, man, we cannot wait to have her depose. Who's going to do the cross-examination for her? It should be easy. Can you imagine her being cross-examined? Oh, super stupid. You're so going to be indicted by a grand jury. You giving false statements, deceiving the public. How much more lying do you need to do? The audacity. And they tried to excuse it away. Once again, I'm going to refer back to that Tommy G video where he went and he sat down with Siggy and Keep Me Chicken Nugget, and they were sitting in there, and Siggy was trying to make it seem like, well, what's the boy's name? Robert something Jr., whatever his name is, the finance director over at Thornton Township. Well, he's the one that gives the final approval on things. So, but she had a card in her possession and she used it. Simply put, it's the act of you using this card to make purchases. You cannot go to court with that bullshit. You can't sit here and dance around words because words are hard for her. Because that's why she makes up terms like politricking. The idea of saying politics is just too difficult. So since this idiot does not care about our English language, you can't go to court dancing around the subject, sugarcoating and beating around the bush. No, they're going to say, did you have a credit card in your possession? Yes or no? Did you use the credit card? How many times? What purchases did you make? What items did you pay for? It's going to be short, direct questions where she will have no choice but to give a yes or no answer to. That is how stupid she is. And right now, she's trying to set this all up to make it seem as if I never had access to a credit card. Yeah, keep on. So the FBI will ask you just that. And then they're going to play this damn video where you keep doubling down on this bullshit. Come on, super stupid, you moron.
Need the spending. I've said this verbally in board meetings. I said it in my lives. I said it everywhere. Because that's not what a mayor does. Now, don't get me wrong. There might be some mayors that have that, but not this mayor, not Tiffany. Because I didn't care about that. Think about it. You just said I made that kind of money. Why do I need the villages or the township's money or credit card? I don't need it. For what? I have staff that runs the day-to-day operation, not the mayor.
So you didn't throw a tantrum about being kicked off the bank account? Super stupid. You really forcing me to have to do this. You didn't throw a tantrum about being kicked off the bank account when you lied about that. You didn't throw a tantrum about that in a whole town hall meeting. You didn't throw a tantrum when you went to court and you agreed to that. You didn't throw a tantrum about that. I'm just saying. I want to pull up the video on this because you want to act like you forgot. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pull up the YouTube video. It was a whole town hall meeting where she came in throwing the biggest tantrum ever. They removed me from the bank account. No, she agreed to stay off of it because she removed the village clerk. The bank called, said, "Did you know this happened?" They sued her ass. She went to court and agreed to remain off of it because she knew what she did was wrong. The law was not on her side. Not at all. So I will pull up the public hearing where she sat here talking about they removed me from the bank account. Nope. That did not happen. No one gave her the authority to remove the village clerk. Not one law or ordinance. Not any state law. The board did not approve of that. None of that shit. But, let her tell it. She's going to keep running this lie to the ground. And the FBI is going to play this back and say, yeah, okay, repeat yourself. Repeat yourself again. Oh,
where's the overseer? The one that's supposed to go and be in the magazines or whatever you said I was on, right? Mm-hmm. And talk to the public about our vision for our communities. That's what I do. But everybody didn't like how I moved because I was too sharp when I said,
you was violating laws.
You get what you dish out.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I come from.
But understanding too that this wasn't just what the news was picking up. This is what your trustees, what residents were saying. Residents were calling for accountability. So answer this question. When did it all, before it got messy, like before this became a spectacle? And when I say spectacle, because I remember how just covering a lot of these city council meetings, people would show up, Tiff, and you know this, they didn't even freaking live in Dalton or in Thornton Township. I'm talking about journalists. I'm talking about folks that were quick to just jump to the mic and berate you. And I'm not taking up for you and saying that, but I'm saying that this became a spectacle, a circus where business could not get done. Before it got to that place, were you able to sit down with some of those trustees and be like, behind closed doors, be like, hey, y'all, let's talk about this? Could that happen? Or were you just operating independently?
People was bought into the scrutiny. That's it. It was for clicks and views. We became, how can I say it, like hot topics. We became all of what you see other podcasts.
She wanted to be viral
online because the minute they get views, they get paid off of it. Mm-hmm. So everybody, they was flying in. When I say flying, they flying into Illinois just to come to a board meeting or to go to the township and record whatever it is.
Sure.
Now, as it relates to my board members, I try to talk to them several different times. You'll hear me say that too at board meetings. Hey guys, I reach out to y'all don't answer the phone. Why is that? But already my board was already bought. And I say this at the board meeting.
Oh my God.
And I would not do a lot of things that they've asked me to do, and I would not do, such as give their friends jobs, give certain friends contracts. If you go look right now, a lot of their friends got jobs, contracts, payouts, all kinds of things. I say all this publicly, and that's why I'm okay saying it here again. The same exact stuff, but it's going on. But now people are finally getting to see what I've been seeing all along. I've been saying it till I'm blue in the face, but it was so many against you that nobody would listen to the one person that was telling you the truth.
Oh no. She did the same thing. She did those very things. She sat here and hired her people. Oh my God. Didn't run background checks. Yeah, because she did the same shit. You can't make this up. Yeah, okay, keep on, Heifer. This super. You cannot make this up. I'm trying to pull up the video where she went in. What was she wearing? God. Hold on, y'all. You can't make this up. Is this it? Because she came to the town hall meeting livid, lying about the trustees removing her when she failed to tell them what happened in court. They had to sue her for illegally removing the village clerk. Whether you like the village clerk or not is irrelevant to the laws that were in place for a reason. And she ignored the laws, did what she wanted to do, and they got mad when they sued her for it. And then she came out and settled with the trustees and their attorneys and agreed for Jason House to remain on the bank account. And it came to the meeting and lied and said they removed her. Never mind what happened in court, though, because see, she's not that big, bad, and bold. She'll go to court and do one thing and then go to that town hall meeting and huff and puff and blow until nothing falls down and to try to make it seem like she hot shit. But in court, all of a sudden, she don't know nothing. I didn't do nothing. That's not what I did. Okay, we just resolved this to settle this then. Because I'm sure her attorney said, you know, discovery is going to tear your ass up. And you don't want to be deposed. Because that's exactly what needs to happen to her. She needs to be placed under oath and questioned for many, many hours. Because one thing she does is lie. And then you let perjury tear her ass up. She would perjure herself. It wouldn't even be funny. It would just be like, we saw this coming. Is this like a commercial break for them or something? Child. All right, let's get to this.
You were supposed to submit your slate in advance, but you didn't know about those rules.
Napoleon a liar. He's another bum looking for crumbs. And I'm going to tell you about him in a minute. Because at the end of the day, if he wanted the seat, he should have ran for the seat. And he didn't. Mm-hmm. They would not allow me to be on the ballot. If you thought that I was going to lose, let me lose, right? Yeah. Meaning, I'm saying, let me get on the ballot and let's go toe to toe. But you didn't want that competition, especially you come from a football background. I thought that's what we do, sportsmanship, but we didn't do that.
So, but the case, you filed a lawsuit.
I did.
And the judge dismissed the case.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sportsmanship? What you say?
But you didn't know about those rules.
Napoleon a liar. He's another bum looking for crumbs. And I'm going to tell you about him in a minute. Because at the end of the day, if he wanted the seat, he should have ran for the seat. And he didn't. Mm-hmm. They would not allow me to be on the ballot. If you thought that I was going to lose, let me lose, right? Yeah. Meaning, I'm saying, let me get on the ballot and let...
She didn't fill out the form she needed to fill out and submit them in time to be on the ballot. So she tried to run as a write-in candidate. But see, here's the thing. She lost in the village of Dalton, running as a Democrat. She lost in the primary against Jason House. You had already proven that you had lost in the village of Dalton, where the population is like 23,000 people. What Napoleon football helmet is being, what was a caucus leader? He could determine whether or not he wanted to do a primary or like a caucus vote. So he did a caucus. It was legal. Whether you like the law or not is irrelevant. That's state law. I even went over the statute code as to how the caucus itself is a legal act. No, people want to make an issue about something laws dictate, as opposed to just finding a way to, amend the law. No, they get mad at the law and then they want to override the law. That's not how that's not how that works. There are state laws that said that caucus was legal. Whether you liked it or not, the court could care less on. The courts do not care if you like the caucus. They don't give a shit. The judge did not care. Her case was dismissed because the court did not care about her personal feelings about liking the caucus. I'm sorry, what was done illegal? What was illegal? You didn't like it, but was it illegal? Was it illegal? No, we don't see any merit to the case, so they dismissed it. I went over the lawsuit. This is the one thing, man, if nothing else, please learn laws. Learn laws, because you understand why you can't go to court talking about, well, I don't feel it's fair, and I didn't like that. He's a bum looking for crumbs. The judge and jury would not be interested in any of that bullshit. They don't care about your personal feelings. Your feelings have no merit in the court of law. Facts and laws and evidence matter. That's it. So the judge dismissed her bullshit lawsuit because it had no merit, because she couldn't say what was unlawful about it. And when it has the backing of the law, it is what it is. I don't like the fact that he has permanently found a way to keep his salary in check at 6 figures, but he did it through the law. What would have to happen is that law would have to be repealed or amended. But there's a certain process you have to go through to do it the right way to where it's permanent. Going to court and crying about your feelings is irrelevant. Judges and juries, they don't give a shit about that. Yo, you have feelings. Oh, no. Next. Case dismissed. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Bye. She went to court crying about how she felt. And it doesn't matter. We don't want our judicial plan of government to worry about your feelings. It should be based on the finding of fact, law, and evidence. That's it. If it's not those 3 things, the court should not care. We don't need this to become a court of more feelings and your mindset and how you think. No. So the law supported the caucus. The law was upheld in court. And her lawsuit had no merit, legal merit. She could not provide a legal argument as to how it was unlawful. So the judge dismissed her dumbass lawsuit and told her kick rocks. She's been crying about it ever since, as opposed to tackling the law itself that supports this caucus. No, she's just crying about how she feels about it. We don't give a shit. Can't make this stuff up. And she's been doing this since last year. At some point, she's going to have to grow up and get over it. If you're not going to tackle it the right way by hitting it on from the legal stance, all this shit is irrelevant. It's irrelevant because no court of law cares. Some people don't know how to go about addressing the real issue here. No, you need to address it through your legislative branch of government where laws are created and passed. Same thing with Napoleon Harris's income. You want to tackle that? You have to find a way to repeal or amend the law that has it set in place now. You're going to have to challenge the law itself. I can call him football head all day. But if I'm not challenging the actual law where he made that salary thing permanent inside of something dealing with Crohn's disease, all I'm doing is just whining about it. And we get nowhere.
Let's go toe to toe. But you didn't want that competition, especially you come from a football background. Mm-hmm. I thought that's what we do, sportsmanship, but we didn't do that.
So
she said sportsmanship. Super stupid. It's not how this works. Oh God. This is not the NFL, girl. This is politics. And what he did was weaponize the law. And that's it. You don't have to like it, but the courts don't care. And you could have challenged the law, but you didn't do that. You sat here and whined and cried about it, which you're still doing. And it does nothing. It doesn't change the situation. And you still would have lost. You understand? You would have lost. If you lost in the village of Dalton, you would have lost in Thornton Township. You didn't have the votes. You did not have the votes. You can't make this.
But the case, you filed a lawsuit.
I did.
And the judge dismissed the case.
Yeah.
That's
it. So it was voter suppression.
What are your thoughts?
I didn't like it. I think that people should have listened to the people because we had affidavits. We had hundreds of affidavits signed. I still have them to this day. Mm-hmm. People still wanted their voice to be heard.
Those affidavits have zero value. They mean nothing. To the people of Thornton Township, hear me good. Those affidavits have no value or effect at all because this idiot does not know how to tackle on real issues. She just wanted it to be handed to her on a silver platter. That's not how that works. You can do 1,000,000 affidavits. It doesn't matter. The caucus was legal. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. That's the truth. And she tried to take it to court. She lost. It had no merit and it was dismissed. Even more proof, the caucus was legal. You don't like it, you challenge the law upholding it. You amend the law, giving anyone that's a caucus leader the power to say, either I can do a primary or a caucus. That's what you need to go towards. She's an idiot, and she did not go to law school.
Her and let them vote. They didn't let people vote. They didn't even let people outside. I had 1,000-some people outside. It was cold as hell that night.
Oh, you
cold. And that's why I said, why y'all didn't show up for it? Why you show people talking about let us in, let us in? Y'all didn't do any of that, meaning any of the news stations. But yeah, everybody was in the inside and ran up on me because I'm the only one arguing and yelling at him about you wrong, this not right. It was other people that wanted to be supervisors, other people that wanted to be trustee, that wanted to be clerk that was in the room. But everybody was on mute. But yet you got this one woman that ain't afraid of them that was going back and forth about what's right and what's wrong. When all the men behind me ain't saying the word that was running as well. Why didn't they stand up and say something? Because everybody's scared of the trauma, the mess. But I'm on God's time. If God say this before me, it's for me. Sometimes how can I say this to you? Sometimes your blockage is your protection. Mm-hmm. And that's how I look at that. If it wasn't for me.
Sometimes your blockage requires prune juice. You can't. All this shit is irrelevant. It meant nothing in court. You know, the one place it actually would matter. Super stupid. Oh, you moron. I know you're listening. I want to tell you this. You're still dumb. Okay? None of this matters. Because when you go to court, the judge told you to your face, this case has no merit. You cannot prove that it was illegal. Like you kept saying, illegal. Let go my ego. This is illegal. And you failed to read the law where it was very legal. I went over the law. I went over the statute code and read it. The entire thing. Very boring stuff. Law is boring, y'all. You got to have a special, boy, it takes a special anointing to be able to read laws and court documents and lawsuits because it can be very boring. God bless God to be able to have some level of comedy with it. But no. That's not how this works, super stupid. I went over the entire law. The entire caucus was legal. And that's all that matters. And you failed to go to the legislative board to ask for this law to be reviewed, to request for an amendment, to get your attorney to actually give a legal argument as to why the law should be amended or repealed when it comes to a caucus. You didn't do that. Oh, it wasn't fair. I didn't, he's just a bomb looking for crimes. And no, it wasn't sportsmanlike. All that bullshit, that judge didn't care about that. It didn't matter. In the court of law, where it does matter. The one place it matters, the judge said flat out, you have no case. It has no merit. Bye. Next. And they just moving it along. You know the judge has to be watching this like, God, she's still talking about that? This is so irrelevant. She couldn't make her point in court. She just couldn't. And it is what it is. And she's still sitting here whining and complaining about the same shit. And she wants to be a commissioner in Fulton County. Can't tell you a platform or a policy or anything she wants to implement. But she's stuck on this loss that she took twice. Because she took 2 L's. 2 L's. You took one in the village of Dalton and then you took one in Thornton Township. You took an L. He outsmarted you. He used the law to do it. And as opposed to you using your brain and saying, okay, let's focus on what we can do when it comes to the law upholding the opportunity for someone like him to have a caucus and not a primary. You want to keep whining and complaining about you not thinking he was being fair and he was doing something illegal. No, he followed the law then. And the judge agreed. Go figure. And this was a federal lawsuit. So it was a federal lawsuit. Those federal judges are not for play. They don't have time for you whining in court, talking about life ain't fair. Life isn't fair. And what does that have to do with the law? When you're not smart enough to tackle the issue at hand and hone in on what you need to hone in on, why should anyone vote for this heifer in Fulton County again? Why? As opposed to her talking about her platform and some policy for Fulton County. No, she's still talking about her big L's that she took in the state of Illinois. You can't make this up.
Me this time around, so big. Move on to something else. I was in a pond. Now I'm in the ocean. Now watch me grow.
Okay, so on that note,
she's still gonna lose.
You took your talent south.
Yes, ma'am.
To Atlanta.
Yes.
And you are running.
I am running for Fulton County Commission.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So
did she say commission? She said commission. Yeah, you gotta learn how to talk.
To Atlanta.
Yes.
And you are running.
I am running for Fulton County Commission.
Wow.
Commissioner.
She said commission. Oh, no. She said commission. What's a commission? That must be that new age talk the young kids are coming up these days with. Coming up with whole titles that don't exist. Commission. Did y'all know commission was a thing? I'm gonna have to go and be the co-president. Yo, we can do this. Commission, co-president, co-president, community director. Well, we can come up with just all kinds of slurred words and speeches. You can make this up. Oh, it's the stupidity for me. Girl, you give us all a headache.
Oh, okay. So
like, oh no,
what's the vibe there? Like, what's the difference? Do you feel like, okay,
yeah, come on, commission.
Go through what I went through in Illinois. How are you navigating that journey?
So now the vibe is actually really positive. I got a lot of support, and I think that's what people are afraid of as it relates to the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party allows so many different things to go on that I didn't switch, and I am running as a Republican.
Wow.
Wait.
Why did you make the switch?
Hot mic.
And most Republicans are not happy about that. What's going on, Jeff? Shout out to the mods. How you doing, sir? You all right? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? Good to see you, honey. Juju up in here? Child. Just got back. Y'all, Jeff is serving in our United States Armed Forces. Which one? Which sector military again? Is it the Navy? I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shout out to Jeff, y'all. Mama love you and miss you, honey. You all right? Yeah, she's a Republican, McKinsey. I said last month, what was it, 2 months ago? Are the Republicans cool with this? Y'all cool with that? I get to be apolitical because that's how I want to be. The end. So I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I'm just me. I'm the queen of YouTube. Are the Republicans cool with this? Y'all cool with Tiffany Henyard being a Republican? She is actually running to be Fulton County Commissioner for District 5. Are y'all cool with that? You know, she's coming up with whole new job titles that don't exist. You know, commission. And pilot tricking. Bums looking for crubs and dumb shit that has nothing to do with a policy or a platform. There you go. Thank you, Jeff. He is in our United States Navy. Y'all show Jeff some love and salute him in the chat. Welcome back. Glad that you made it back safe and you can hang out with us. Shout out to the mods you are. I told you I have the best mods on YouTube. Thank you so much for your service, honey. Sonya, what's going on? Y'all. Jeff, she said commission. She made up a whole new job title. Zoe said later that getting me in trouble here. Y'all. It's fine. How you doing, honey? I be here. I was just busy, not chatting. It's okay. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, this woman is making up words. I don't even know how to respond to half the stuff she's saying because it doesn't exist. Like commission is not a real thing. Girl, oh, you still have not learned how to read a book. Oh, super stupid. You got to enhance your vocabulary. This is not going to work. We're not in the mood to hear you say this same old nonsense you've been saying for 4 or 5 years. The whole time she was mayor of Village of Dalton, she failed to read. And then she loses. Then comes here to Fulton County, wants to run as commissioner, and she's still failing to read. Are you not going to show some growth at all? You want to be stuck in the mud? I mean, we can leave you there. But you got people actually hoping that you change for the better. Start with your vocabulary. Capition is not a thing. Politrick is not a thing. Bombs looking for crimes is a stupid slogan. And you still lost in court. You lost. You had no merit to your lawsuit. It was stupid. It was not based on the finding of fact, law, or evidence at all. You just felt some type of way. They don't care. It's that simple. You have no one telling you the truth. You have no one telling you like it is. They all kissing your ass. It's so stupid. Out for what? Because she didn't die on a cross for anybody. She certainly doesn't pay anybody's bills. Not mine. I don't give a damn how she feels. Quite frankly.
Hot mic. Huh?
Why did you make that switch from Democrat to Republican?
Because I was a part of.
Yeah, no, she wanted to try to win. She realized, it's not going to be easy to do that in Fulton County either. Republicans. Is this your leader? Y'all want a Tiffany Henyard representing you all? Seriously. I'm not even telling her not to be a Republican. I'm just asking other Republicans, are y'all cool with this shit? Y'all good with this?
Of the Democrat Party for about the last 15 years, and the things that the party allows and does, I can't stand for or with. So I'm ready to spread my wings and be the Republican conservative that I am, because I believe in building. I believe in infrastructure and growth and opportunities within the Black and brown community. I'm tired of the Democrats study talking about let's fix, but yet the Black and brown community still have poverty, still have all these problems and issues, and they're not being.
They still have what? What are these words you're using?
Black and brown community. I'm tired of the Democrats study talking about let's fix, but yet the Black and brown community still have poverty, still have all these
what? Property? Was she trying to say poverty or problems? Was she trying to say poverty? I heard property. What's property? Girl, I want y'all to hear what she's saying. I'm gonna take the captions off for a moment. Just listen.
Fix, but yet the Black and brown community still have poverty, still have all these problems.
She said property. Look, oh my God, y'all. We gotta do Candice after this. Tiffany, you dumb alien. I don't know how far you expect to get when using standard English is not your strong suit at all. It's just not. All of this time you've had to perfect your public speaking skills, and you won't do that. And that's easy. That is very easy. You don't have a problem with your narcissistic ass standing in front of a camera. The least you could do is practice speaking the English language correctly. Property is not a word. Capition is not a title or word. Politricking is still not a word. And it's ignorant. It's stupid. You want to talk about ignorance? Ignorance is the lack of knowledge, by definition. And what you're doing is trying to set this example on behalf of Black and brown people. This is how we all are. No, we're not. And you're trying to represent Republicans. Boy, Candace is going to be so mad. Candace. Candace always is going to tear your ass up. I, for one, will not stop that from happening. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Candace get wind of a Tiffany Henyard. She gonna say, I've heard of this person. Lady Luck calls her super stupid, and I believe it. I mean, Lady Luck can kick rocks, but I believe when she says that this woman is super stupid. Good grief. Candace Owens will tear Tiffany Henyard up. And both of them would just be yelling and screaming at each other. One will be using words like competition and property. The other one would just mock God, I guess, and scripture. Like, you can't cry, Tiffany. If you get in front of Candace Owens, you just don't cry because she'll mock you for that. But other than that, oh man, she'll give you a shellacking. This is crazy. Yeah. Girl. She wants to be a Republican. Republicans, y'all still want her.
Problems and issues, and they're not being fixed. But yet they say they are. Where? Show.
But some would say, there's issues on the Republican side as well.
It could be.
Can you give me some core Republican values that you agree with?
Well,
why not just go independent?
Well, number one, I believe in their structure as it relates to policies. I really care about that. I care about structure.
What structure? What's the structure? I've been asking this question. What are the core values that you know of that are upheld by the Republican Party? That was a good question he asked. I've been asking the same question myself. Super, you care to elaborate? Can you give me some core Republican values? Come on, girl.
Republican values that you agree with? Well, why not just go independent?
Well, number one,
see, dude, you just messed up. You asked her 2 questions back to back. You can't do that. You asked her the first question. You should have left it at that. She cannot handle these 2 questions back to back because now you've given her options. Now she's gonna just choose to answer the second question and act like you never said anything about any core Republican values whatsoever. She's going to ignore that question and go for the second as to why she didn't just go independent. This is why you can't ask someone like her 2 questions back to back. No, you got to do 1 question at a time, which is why if her ass gets deposed and placed under oath, oh my God, they're going to butcher you in court, Tiffany, aka Candace Owens number 2. Special ed version. You can't make this up. See, he messed up asking 2 questions back to back. There you go.
I believe in their structure as it relates to policies. I really care about that. I care about structure that we don't have right now in the Democrat Party.
I'm just trying to still, Tiffany, get to the bottom.
She didn't answer it. What structure? Can we go back to, what's the core Republican values? Can you quote them? Can you quote the core Republican values right now? Just quote 3. Quote the values itself. What structure? What's the difference in the structure? Can we? Anybody up in here? Are you wearing a FIFA shirt? No, this is a green Nike shirt. I would love to wear a FIFA shirt. Those shirts are awesome. This is who all Republicans in. I don't. Y'all know I don't get down with part of political talk like that. I just want can someone just post up 3 Republican core values in the chat? Super stupid. I know you're watching. The chat is going to help you out. So the next time you ask this question, you can refer to this chat. We're giving you 3 core Republican values in the chat. You can't make this up. She's talking about structure. Structure to what? Function? What are we talking about here? You know nothing about biology, girl. It's the structure for me. Okay, speak more about the structure. What's the difference between this Democratic structure versus a Republican structure? And you can't make this stuff.
Bottom of all the accusations. You seem like you're somewhat level-headed, intelligent. Like I said, you were riding high at the beginning. And
what you say, lady? Hoppo. Who this woman, Hoppo? Yeah, who this woman? Hoppo, who this woman? Hoppo. Who this woman here? She just said she's level-headed and intelligent.
Of all the accusations, you know, you seem like you're somewhat level-headed, intelligent. Like I said, you were riding high at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it's so like you're in the news almost every night.
Correct.
And everything about you is negative.
Correct.
Bottom of all the still, Tiffany, get to the bottom of all the accusations. You know, you seem like you're somewhat level-headed, intelligent. Like I said,
somewhat level-headed, intelligent. What? He looks disturbed. Yeah, the moment she said intelligent, he got this disturbed look on his face. This freeze frame is iconic. Y'all, look at this man. He look like he disturbed in his soul. What? You seem you seem like you're somewhat level-headed, intelligent. You meant to say that? He look like something. He either got bubble guts, or he just got disturbed automatically. His soul is disturbed. That man is not sitting here very happy at what he just heard at all. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You were riding high at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it's like you're in the news almost every night.
Correct.
And everything about you is negative.
Correct.
And it seemed like, you know, and I'm saying this, it seemed like you always had like an edge or like an attitude, and you wouldn't stop to the media. They would just ask a question, you would keep walking. Those things kind of make it seem like, ooh, she must have something to hide, or ooh, maybe she is guilty of these things that she's being accused of. Speak on that, and also things like the FBI investigating you.
Can we go back to the Republican core values right quick? Because she didn't name not a one. She didn't name one at all. You understand? She hopped on the Republican Party train to try to get Trump's attention. Because she thought, you know, if I'm just the loudest person in the room, I'll get attention, right? It worked as a Democrat, so let's see if it works as a Republican. It didn't. Trump still does not care that she's roaming the earth. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. No one cares that she wanted to switch parties. It's the intent behind it. It is the intent and the motive as to why she switched. She did that to try to win. That's it. She doesn't care about Republican core values. She can't name one. This is what we are here. And she still has not named one at all. Small government, upholding the First and Second Amendment. Let's see. I'm conservative, Republican, pro-life, small government, Second Amendment. You got core values right here in the chat. You can't name one. You can't say pro-life, small government, America first, First, Second Amendment. Like, what are the core values that you know of and you agree with and uphold? What are they? She can't even do that. Super stupid. This is how it's done. There are core values right here in my chat. Because you refuse to just Google and read. Small government, pro-life, First, Second Amendment upholders. 3 values right there. 3. You can't make this up. And she couldn't even say that. You ask her about small government, she's going to say, no, I want big government. If you say, do you believe in small government as a Republican? She's going to say, no, I want a bigger government, more stable, with lots more structure. And they need to stop politicking. They just bums looking for crumbs. Trying to apply for commission jobs and shit. Stealing property. This is so bad. Oh, this shit writes itself. Oh my God, choice of education. You can't make this up. These are just core values that she could just recite off the top of her head. Nope. Ask her about small government. I want to hear her answer to that.
I keep God first in everything I do. However he tell me to move is how I move.
He just asked you about the FBI. You can't make this up.
Yeah, they would just ask a question. You would keep walking. Those things kind of make it seem like, ooh, she must have something to hide. Or, ooh, maybe she is guilty of these things that she's being accused of. Speak on that. And also things like the FBI investigating you.
I keep God first in everything I do. However he tell me to move is how I move. At the end.
What does that have to do with the FBI? It's super stupid. So I couldn't find the video right quick. But I wanted to give you all the information about this bank account thing. So the Village of Dalton trustees tried to sue the bank, which honestly, I could have told them that case probably would have been dismissed because you have to prove that the bank has some legal liability when it comes to all of the transactions that she made after she had the village clerk removed from the bank account and added those two different women that had no business being on the bank account at all. So this is giving just an overview of it, but we have covered it in our videos. Please check out my playlist, the Super Stupid playlist. Super Stupid Tiffany Henyard playlist. I've been calling her that the entire time I've been reporting on her. It's not going to change. I don't give a damn. So it says here that the major legal dispute is underway in Dalton over former Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her alleged misuse of village funds through the village's bank accounts. The Village of Dalton has sued Fifth Third Bank in Cook County Court, claiming the bank improperly cashed over 251 checks between April 22nd and May 23 that were signed only by Henyard, not by the required village clerk, Allison Key, in violation of a May 2021 village resolution. That is the resolution that was in place when she became mayor, where she and the village clerk were to be the signatories on the Fifth Third bank account. Are y'all keeping up with me so far? She goes to the bank, has the village clerk removed. The Dalton trustee board was supposed to vote on that, create a new resolution to replace the resolution to name the village clerk as the other signatory. Signatories being the only two people that can write checks and sign the checks. Well, she went to the bank, took the village clerk off, added two other women on it that had no business being on it, and then did not tell the trustee board at all. The bank called the Village of Dalton. It spoke with, I believe, the village clerk. It was like, hey, she took you off the bank account. You knew this? Now we're seeing checks with only her name on it. Because with her taking the village clerk off, she no longer required the village clerk's signature stamp on the check. Because she took off from the bank status. But she still violated the resolution and state law. So she broke the law regardless. Any other person would have went to jail. Any other person that did that would have went to jail. I repeat, any other person that did that would have went to jail. That's bank fraud. You can't do that shit. But whatever. So she thinks there was nothing wrong with that because laws don't apply to her, I guess, because reasons. So the village alleges Henyard misappropriated or stole, in quotations, about $1.9 million in taxpayer money, and that the bank acted in bad faith by knowing of the violations but failing to stop them. So they notified the village clerk because she was listed on the bank account. Stopping it or not, it's not the bank is not sitting here trying to oversee, government like that. They're not trying to determine whether or not the village wants this check cashed. If the money was there and the signatory's name was on it, they cashed it. They're the bank. But once they notified the village clerk and said, hey, your name was taken off, the Dalton trustees sued Tiffany Henyard. Then that's when they went to court. And that's when they, I think, either closed that account or something. They put a halt on it or something happened. But either way, Jason House, at the time was Mayor Pro Tem, was added to that bank account and listed as a signatory, they made the resolution and agreement in court, as opposed to going through a whole trial, going to a trial hearing and all of that. They had a jury demand and everything, as opposed to them going through the trial hearing. And those bank documents coming up as exhibits and as evidence in the case. She decided to settle and reach the resolution and agreed that Jason House and the village clerk would remain signatories on that bank account. She will remain on there more for administrative purposes, meaning if someone needed to request a copy of a bank statement, she had the ability to do that. That is how she would remain listed on that account, but not as a signatory. So she couldn't cash any more checks after that resolution was reached in court. Then she comes to a public town hall meeting talking about they removed me from the bank account, but didn't say anything about what happened and transpired in court regarding that resolution. Because they sued her. So they had to resolve the matter in court. And they resolved it by reaching that resolution. I went over all the court documents. And she's still lying like hell. Keep on stupid. Because I have no problem telling the truth about what happened in court, you little punk ass. You're lying. Because, hell is still hot and you're lying. So Jason House remained as one of the signatories. The village clerk was re-added to the account. And then I think they ended up closing that account and went and got another account. So at some point, I guess they decided we'll just sue the bank as opposed to suing Tiffany Henyard. Because this lawsuit really should be against Tiffany Henyard, not the bank. They're like, listen, we just cashed the checks and stuff. Unless they knew they were doing something wrong and they have some evidence to show that in court, it's going to be hard to show some legal liability if she went and did all of this on her own accord intentionally by taking the village clerk off. And they notified the village clerk and they did their due diligence in accordance to what they have the ability to do. If they felt the checks were fraudulent, they had the right to hold them, to go through the fraud department, but they have to have enough reasoning to believe that the check is fraudulent. Whether her name is on it or her name with the village clerk's name was on it, once she took the village clerk off the account, the village clerk's signature was no longer required according to the bank and how the bank would see that. And that was their legal argument in this lawsuit. So we're just saying, okay, we're going to cash the checks based on who we see listed as signatories for this account. You all's legal resolution, your ordinances, the law, and all of that, as far as who should be named and all of that, that's something you all have to rectify and then tell us. That's the bank's position on this. All right, so the suit names only the bank as a defendant and does not name Henyard, nor does it specify the recipients of the funds. Henyard has not been charged with wrongdoing. Allegations in bank's role, the village says the bank breached its contract with the village, violated reasonable commercial banking standards, breached Illinois Uniform Commercial Code, aided and abetted Henyard's alleged misuse of funds. The bank's master treasury management agreement did not require dual signatures, and the village's attorney acknowledged this in court documents. Exactly. So context of Henyard's tenure. Henyard served as mayor from May 2021 to May 2025, a period marked by multiple investigations into lavish travel and spending, including trips to Las Vegas, use of federal relief funds, payments to a contractor later convicted of bribery, because he was. A 2025 non-criminal investigation by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot found gross financial mismanagement, including excessive spending with little oversight. I could have found that job for far less. I mean, seriously, they paid this woman $400 an hour. Okay. Court date for fifth third bank case is scheduled for April 6, 2026. I do believe this case was dismissed because they didn't have enough merit to show the bank had legal liability. Correct me if I'm wrong. The village is seeking to recover the $1.9 million in lost funds plus interest and debt incurred. Henyard's attorney has said she has moved on with her life and blamed the village board for the chaos. Because, never mind the fact that she went to the bank and removed the village clerk, but whatever. They should have had her named as a co-defendant if they're going to go through that route. But just naming the bank solely, no, that wasn't a good lawsuit. It just wasn't. The removal from the bank account is not a legal removal of Henyard herself, but a lawsuit by the village alleging the bank allowed her to cash checks without required signatures, enabling the alleged misappropriation of $1.9 million in public funds. This case is ongoing and Henyard is not named as a defendant. So that's just kind of a summary that I looked up online. I honestly have to look up the updates on this, but they should have named her as a co-defendant if they were going to go that route. Otherwise, I think the village attorney dropped the ball in just advising them whether or not this case will be viable. You know, would this be, can you actually show legal liability in this? And they just did what any bank would do. They cashed the check. They saw the person on the account that signed the check, that was authorized to do it, had their name on here. That's it. As far as what a resolution says for a particular village, that's not the bank's job to keep up with the resolutions and the any bylaws. Like, it's not the bank's job to do that, to oversee what the actual local government entity is doing. Whatever the village of Dalton had put in their resolution is what they have to provide to the bank. So they give the bank a copy of this resolution to say, these are only two people that should be listed on this bank account. If one comes in and removes the other from it, and then she puts two other people on here, all they can do is notify the village clerk to say, you were taken off, two other people were added, and here are the documents on it. Here's what she signed, which is what they did. Because I saw the documents myself. So she signed and had two people added on, two other women added on, that should have never ever been named on any bank account dealing with the village of Dalton. They didn't have the authority to even be added to a bank account like that. But all they could do was notify them. That's it. That's the bank's role. If they felt that a check or a transaction was fraudulent, every bank has a fraud department. Now, they could have requested for the bank to investigate these transactions to see if there was any fraudulent activity with it. But that would be something done in-house with the bank and the bank's fraud department. Otherwise, you're trying to sue the bank to say, well, we know she went to the bank, took the village clerk off. She violated the resolution for it. But you all allowed all these transactions to go through. Why did you do that? They're like, well, how would we know if it's fraudulent? You all didn't tell us. Like, how long did it take for you all to tell us that all these checks and transactions are fraudulent? Why didn't you all just put a stop hold on everything? The moment we notified and told you all the village clerk has been removed, why didn't you all tell us to put a stop hold on any check that she signs? That would have been about a good year and a half worth of checks, maybe 2 years worth of checks. Put a stop hold on it. They sued her. They took her to court over it. So they did what they needed to do legally. But suing the bank, but not naming her, it makes that's just not, it wasn't a good lawsuit. It just wasn't a good lawsuit. It wasn't. So that's my 2 cents on it. There's other ways of just, this stuff being done to where it could have been done a lot better. And I think putting a stop hold and then maybe ignoring that probably would give a lot more legal liability. Right now, that's just a hard point to prove. But, it just never ceased to amaze me the things that do happen in the courts up there in that state. So maybe they'll shock me and something will come out of this. But so far, I just saw that as a bad lawsuit. Yeah, but she still has no shame. She an asshole. Super stupid know what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She went and took the village clerk off the bank account because she did not want them knowing what transactions were going through, checks being signed, none of that. She never had contracts for vendors or invoices or anything to that extent where the board approved it. So when they have vendors doing things, contractors and vendors doing services, we're like, where the contracts at? She's just having people come in, say they want a contract to lay out roofs and roofs. She said roofs. Pave sidewalks and streets. But yet there's no contract for this. There's no competitive bidding. We have federal laws when it comes to competitive bidding, state law there in that state, and then local ordinances and resolutions. No formal bidding process at all. Absolutely none. So you're bypassing federal, state, and local ordinances and laws to just give a vendor a contract with the village saying they can do XYZ and we'll pay them this money. But you have no contract, nothing to show any proper competitive bidding, nothing. And she want to sit here and say, well, they just hired their friends and their cousins. You did the same shit. Does it make it right? No, but you did the same thing. See, here's the thing. Tiffany Henyard does not want to take accountability. And she's going to have a rude awakening. And it's going to be just that. A rude awakening. Because if the FBI does come for her and she gets formally indicted, then what? You can't go to court talking about it. It's everybody else's fault. Nope. They're going to prove that it's your fault. And that will be their burden. But if they successfully do that, then what? Now she's a Republican thinking she can just hide behind a different party altogether to try to get away from this. It's so ridiculous. Oh my God, y'all, it's so crazy. But she made the money to pay for her own wigs and her own hairstylist and all those Ruth Chris Steakhouse dinners and all this shit she paid for. She used tax dollars for. No, she had the money to do it herself. All those expenses where she used tax dollars to pay for her comfort of life. She got to explain it. And this is how she explains it, by pivoting away from it and trying to say, basically, well, everybody did it before me, so why I can't keep doing it? It doesn't justify it being lawful or ethical behavior. They probably should have been penalized for doing it too. But once again, you stand before God with that if you want to make God mad. I just hope you're far, far away from us when you get hit with that lightning bolt. You can't make this up.
End of the day, I can't worry about people's opinion. I would have been broke if I worried about anybody's opinion of Tiffany Henyard.
Sure.
I still got to keep a solid mind and voice for my baby.
She's doing a
that's growing up throughout all this drama.
Mm-hmm. But I'm speaking now outside of opinion in terms of mismanagement. I'm talking about a federal probe.
I know what I have done, and that's always been 100 with every move I make.
Why are you pivoting, girl?
I don't have to sugarcoat anything for anybody. What you see is what you get. I am as real as they come.
That has nothing to do with the FBI subpoena.
I have nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Girl,
you let people do what they do, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, I just want people to see the real Tiffany Henyard. That's what I really want.
And do you feel that people are seeing that in Atlanta?
I do.
Okay.
Because that's how I actually started to run. I got a lot of complaints as it relates to what's going on in Fulton County. A lot of people want to see change. A lot of people don't like what's going on. And guess what? That's an entirely Democratic area. So if they're talking like that, why not? And I wasn't even going to run. I didn't go there for that. I went there to make a way. I am an entrepreneur by trade. That's where I come from. I used to own Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? That's where I come from. Before I even touch politics.
Can't make this up.
I only did that after the fact because my community needed me. I was known as the tree lady. I always go around advocating to cut people tree down because the roots were running their pipes and their plumbing was messed up. And I was only 16. I was doing block club parties, dance groups. That's how I got it. So I always been a community servant. Always.
Oh my God.
With the last couple of minutes that we have left, talk about Tiff outside of politics. Tiff as a mom to a beautiful 7-year-old. What is mommy life like? Do y'all shop together? Do y'all what do you do when it's not
politics?
Oh yeah, be a mom, like you just said. Be a mom. So basically we go shopping, we match head to toe, we do all kinds of things, girl stuff. From whether Justice is into dance, and I name her Justice because that's what I always fought for, justice. It's a meaning behind everything I do. And if I said people just get to know Tiffany Henyard, they will understand where I come from and the why. But yeah, my baby's everything to me.
When I first heard that you were running for election in Atlanta, I'm like, okay, the death threats, the criticism. I covered half a dozen of those city council meetings where people would just come up there during public comments. And despite how they felt about you, they would just say, all kinds of stuff. And you just sat there and took it. Why put yourself through that type of scrutiny, possibly again?
Because this time is more about vindication. It's more about letting the people speak for me. And that's what's been going on. I know I'm back here at home, and I don't want nobody to twist that the wrong way because I live in Atlanta now. But I'm here, and everybody said the same exact thing.
Yeah,
Tiffany, I wish we would have just gave you a chance.
They can have you back. I mean, no one is forcing you to stay here. Why are you so dead set on staying in Atlanta is my question. What are you leaving or escaping up there? Because, you know, she could have moved to any other city in the United States of America. Why Atlanta? Why Atlanta? Or is it because you knew that this Fulton County Commissioner position would be open? Not commission. You knew this commissioner position would be open and available. Somehow, District 5 is not something she's familiar with because she can't even tell you where it is on a map. And they thought, oh, it would be a great idea if I just run as a Republican in a Democratic heavy area, a Democratic majority district in Fulton County. We're already dealing with Fannie Willis's dumbass, who hired a ousted judge as a prosecutor. Can't make this up. And somehow she thinks, I guess, you know, maybe Fannie will look out for me and help me become Fulton County Commissioner. Is that what you're thinking, Tiffany? Are you hoping that Fannie Willis, a Democrat, that go after Republicans, you hoping she help you out? Because she about as corrupt as it gets. We're trying to get her ass on somewhere. You don't have a platform. You can barely speak English. What was the game plan again? No one is forcing you to stay in Atlanta. You can go back. If you feel like you would win on your own, why not go back and run as an independent or as a Republican? If all of these people are allegedly wanting you to come back so bad, go back and run as a Republican and then tell them to vote for you. Let's see how that goes, girl. Let's see if you go back to Dalton or Thornton Township and you actually run as a Republican. If those same people, you know, those fictitious voices you're hearing in your head, actually follow through and they vote for you and you win. Let's see that happen. Why don't you prove me wrong and go run as a Republican in the village of Dalton and in Thornton Township and get your jobs back as a Republican? While you still can't name one Republican core value. Come on, Tiffany. Take your dumb ass back to your home where you grew up and you was known as the tree girl, the tree branch, or whatever the hell, and go run as a Republican. And let's test that theory to see if all these so-called supporters and Hentards are overwhelming to where they can help you get the numbers so that you can win the mayoral position as well as supervisor of Thornton Township again. And if you are as popular as you say you are, then your supporters will vote for you no matter what party you're affiliated with, right? As a matter of fact, they'll probably switch. All those Hentards will get a clucking and probably will switch parties just to vote for you. Let's test that and see and find out what happens. Y'all hit the 4 if you want her to go back home and get the hell out of Georgia. And let's see if she wins as a Republican. Why didn't you pull that stunt up there in Illinois? Why did you come to Georgia with that? Is my question. Why can't you just do that up there in Illinois? Why can't you go to the village of Dalton and run as a Republican? Where's Siggy at? Siggy? That would be a great help to your girlfriend that you will never marry. Because now she'll be able to take care of her dad too. You know, help him get out of whatever neighborhood he was in when she claimed he was shot. Well, why aren't you helping to take care of your father? You know, as a daddy's girl, I would never ever leave my dad somewhere where I know he was shot up. I wouldn't do that shit. Are you kidding me? May God rest his soul. My dad would not be left in an entirely different state. If I say that he was shot down and you're talking about gun violence and you want the president to bring in the National Guard and all this stuff, and you can't even move him into your house in Georgia. So you and Siggy can't move your father into your home, but your dumb hypocritical ass want to sit here and to try to get Trump's ear by saying send the guards to a totally different state that I no longer live in. My dad was shot, but I'm not going to move my dad down here and take care of him myself. Hell no. So what's the point again? Other than her to complain. She's not doing anything, even in her personal life, where she could make a decision to help somebody. Think about this. To help one person, her father. You think she's trying to move her dad to Georgia so she can take care of her dad who was shot? She claims he was shot. You really think she's trying to go out of her way to move her father to the state of Georgia to get him out of harm's way? To say, hey, I want to take care of my dad. He was a victim of this gun violence and it's just horrible up there. There is no way I'm leaving him up there. And if the governor doesn't want to do anything or take action, I'm going to have to take care of my daddy myself. So that's what I'm going to do. Why can't she do that? But yet you want people to believe that you're trying to make a change in a district you're not even familiar with, that you can't even point out on a map. That this is what you're trying to do. This is you're trying to show proof. Oh, I can come in and bring change and make things happen. With something so simple as, let me take care of my dad and look out for my dad. So he's not subjected to this harsh, violent treatment going on in the mayor of Chicago, the governor. They're not doing anything. They won't let Trump come in and help. Okay, but you can help. You can help. You can move your father in your home in Georgia. You can help. And you won't even do that. And you want people to trust that you're going to help thousands of people in a district that is majority Democrat. And you just switched parties to be a Republican because of reasons. When something so as simple as, let me help my dad, the man that helped give life to me, procreated with me, my mother to make me, that raised me, that took care of me, he gets shot, and I'm going to leave him up there with all that gun violence. And now I want to bring change to a whole district over here, though. Vote for me to do that. Vote for me to do that. Oh, no. It's the hypocrisy. It's staggering and disgusting. I can't imagine one of my parents being in a totally different state. And I'm sitting here talking about, I want the president to go in and bring in National Guards because of gun violence. But yet I do nothing about that situation by at least trying to talk to my dad and say, hey, Dad, can you come here to Georgia? I don't want to leave you up there. You're my father, and I'm going to honor you by making sure you're safe. I don't want to leave you up there. I don't want you to be a victim of this anymore. The governor sucks. His pear-shaped head ass. Man, Chicago's god awful. Like, can you come down here to Georgia, please? Let me take care of you. Let me make sure that doesn't happen again. Can you move here to Georgia? Sicky and I would love to have you. Your granddaughter will be elated. Grandpa's about to live with us. Let's get you out of Chicago, out of the soft suburban area of Chicago where all this stuff is happening here until, they accept help from Trump. Let's get you out of there and bring you down here. Yeah, because God would love for me to honor my parents and take care of my parents. You can't make this up. Is she talking about that? No. Is she even attempting to do this? No. They asked her a simple question. Name one Republican core value. And you're a Republican. She's talking about structure. Oh, child. But your father's still staying in Dalton, somewhere in the South suburban area of Chicago, with all that gun violence. For what? Do you love your father? Because man, my dad was a great man. An entrepreneur. He died in 2023 from prostate cancer. There is no way I would leave my father anywhere near any area where I'm sitting here crying gun violence, saying the president should be sitting in National Guards, saying the governor should be accepting help from our president. The mayor sucks. He would rather look out for illegal immigrants and all this other stuff. And yet, when you have the opportunity to do something, you don't. You don't. You don't even think about your father enough to move him to Georgia and to get him out of that situation. I don't care if he's married with other kids. Bring all of them. As long as my father's safe, I'm good. You didn't even think about that. And you want an entire district to believe that you are somebody that can bring about some change, when the one change you could make, you won't even do it. Girl, they asked about the FBI. Thank you all. I appreciate you all for your condolences. You never get over losing a parent. It's just something you get through every day. So just keep praying for me. I love my father. He was a great man, took care of me, and he was always there for me. And I don't understand. It's the hypocrisy for me. And you think her supporters sitting here telling her that? Like, you should probably try to at least present yourself like you do care about what's going on. And you might not be able to do something on a larger scale regarding this so-called gun violence in Chicago, but you can do something on a smaller scale regarding your father being up there. Why don't you just at least show proof that you're trying to move him down here? And if he tells you no, that's one thing. But at least show that you're trying to get him out of the situation. Tell him he has options. He doesn't have to live up there, because God forbid it happens again. No, she could care less. She doesn't even, did y'all even hear her talk about her father? All that gun violence up there. Did y'all hear her say anything about her dad one time here? Because I didn't hear anything about her father being mentioned in this entire interview.
I am so sorry. I had a lady like flag me and come all down and came and hugged me and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and started crying. I'm so sorry for what we did to you.
Who the lady? Can you name her? So you still not talking about how your father was shot?
I did not know.
Yeah.
So when you get that kind of confirmation, you know you was doing what's right.
I wanted to ask how your father's doing.
Yeah,
here we
Chicago.
go. Okay, why am I asking? Nobody think I'm crying. Hold on.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
condolences to your father.
Might be real quick.
With everything that happened there. That's weird. West Side too, right?
West Side, which is the best side, right?
It is. It is.
It is. That's why everybody wanted it so bad, right? But it's still Chirac.
I know everybody want me so bad. So you have the opportunity right here to talk about your dad. And this is how you talk about him. West Side is the best side. That's why everybody want me so bad.
Yeah,
in Chicago.
Okay, why am I asking? Nobody think I'm crying. Hold on.
Yeah, no, condolences to your father.
Might be real quick.
With everything that happened there. That's weird. West Side too, right?
West Side, which is the best side, right?
It is. It is.
It is. That's why everybody wanted it so bad, right? But it's still Chirac.
You make this about yourself. That's why everybody want me so bad, right? Right here. Right here. Girl. Oh, you dumb demon. Right here, you have an opportunity to speak candid. To say, I'm negotiating with my dad right now to get him out of there. And you still made this about you. What?
Condolences to your father.
Might be real quick.
With everything that happened there. That's weird. West Side too, right?
West Side, which is the best side, right?
It is. It is.
It is. That's why everybody wanted it so bad, right?
Everybody want me so bad, right? I'm surprised the captions picked that up. Your ghetto ass. Everybody want me to be right? No. Because if they did, why didn't they just tell you to move back? How about this? Why don't you just move back, run as a Republican? And if you're so great, then trust the voters. Yeah, Tiffany Henyard, I dare you move back to Village of Dalton. Run as mayor again against Jason House as a Republican. And if all these people coming up to you crying in tears talking about how they miss their cult leader so much really want to support you, I dare you run as a Republican. And if they do support you, they'll vote for you, right? Because see, why not just let the vote speak for itself? Same thing with Thornton Township. Why don't you run as a Republican and you believe, like you said, when it came to the caucus, oh, if he could beat me, he would just primary me. He would have ran. Okay. Ditto. So the same can be said about you. You hypocritical oomph. Why don't you run in Thornton Township as supervisor, as a Republican, and try to beat Napoleon Harris? I could care less whether or not if football here wins or loses. But prove to us that you are one of those game changers in your politicking world. And go run. Who's stopping you? No one's stopping you from running in Illinois as mayor or supervisor. No one is stopping you. You moved to Georgia yourself. No one told you to do that. We don't want your ass here. But who's stopping you from moving back? Why is it you're so gun-ho on, oh, I moved to Atlanta, I left all that behind. But then the whole time she's talked about everything that happened up there. She can't tell you one core Republican value. She can't tell you who her constituents are in District 5 in Fulton County. Show one debate she's done or a platform for policy she plans on trying to put forth. None of that. Why not just move back and go run as a Republican and beat Jason House and beat Napoleon Harris if you feel as if you got the support behind you? Get your ass on and go try. Let's prove us wrong. Show us exactly how many people support you and love you and worship the ground you walk on. Go on, girl. Ain't nobody stopping you. Move back, Tiffany Henyard. Go back to Dalton and try to go beat Jason House. And I'll cover it. I sure will. I will cover that. I will give adequate coverage to that election. So will all of YouTube. Dalton is like, shut up, Lady Luck. We don't want her back either. You know how many people just got mad with me instantaneously? Yeah, shut your ass up, Lady Luck. You trying to bring her ass back up here? No. Lady Luck, shut your weird ass up. We don't want her up here. No. You trying to bring her back up here? The audacity. How dare you, Lady Luck? She challenging, y'all Lady Luck challenging Tiffany Henyard to go back to Dalton and try to beat Jason House as a Republican. Everybody need to unsubscribe. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe. Oh, the people being pissed off right now. Well, I can feel it in my bones. It's like fire. Shut up in my bones. All the unsubs. Lady Luck tripping. She over there high as hell. The hell wrong with her? She trying to bring this demon back up here and think she gonna beat Jason House and Napoleon Harris. It's my tell Lady Luck to shut the hell up. Sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself. I have to say the quiet part out loud. Oh, child. You can't make this stuff up, or all the people that are mad at me. I'm already calling Napoleon football head ass. Football helmet ass. They can't stand that. I I honestly have no nickname for Jason House. I just don't. I just don't have one. All right. I definitely challenge Tiffany Henyard. Go back up there to Dalton and try to beat Jason House as a Republican. Boy, that'll be something else. This is what happens when we don't challenge these people that are trying to run for these elected positions. This is what happens when we don't ask questions and demand debates. This is what happens when you don't get, hey, what is the policy platform that you're trying to present to the public, to your constituents, to the people you want to vote for you? What plans do you have to make things better? This is what happens when we as voters don't challenge that. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican or independent or green tea or libertarian. I don't care. You can go back to being a Federalist. Going back to the institution of the United States of America. Be a Federalist. That was a whole political platform. Don't care. At the end of the day, the spirit of debate, presenting your platform, giving people a reason to vote for you should never, ever die. It should never go away. And we as voters have to demand that. Or you end up stuck with a Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis can kiss my ass. Oh, man, the gall on her. The twig and berries hanging from Fannie Willis. Oh, man. That girl got a brazen, it's like a bronze and ball sack down. It just... The audacity. You hired an ousted judge to be a prosecutor in the DA's office. Judges have told you to sit your ass down. When I say we're trying to get rid of her, no one wants. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. We're tired of Fannie Willis. A lot more people are sick of her than you will believe. People are afraid to say it because they scared that either party is going to come for them one way or the other. No, Fannie Willis sucks. The end. That's it. She's cost us so much money in frivolous litigation, it makes no sense. But at the end of the day, she had to be told to sit down somewhere because she chose to let her boyfriend interfere. Of all things to be questioned about, it's your boyfriend. And then you turn around and just kind of slap everybody in the face again like a double. Hiring an ousted judge. If she failed as a judge and was going to be fired as a judge, why in the hell would you hire her as a prosecutor? The idiot's name is Shamila Williams, a former judge who was fired by the JQC, removed from the bench, and as opposed to her taking that L, like the big girl she is, and going somewhere and sit the hell down. No, Fannie Willis hires her to be a prosecutor. This is the level of corruption that we're dealing with here. So we're sick of that. What the hell, Tiffany Henyard? Why do you think that we want to sit here and tolerate your BS? We're not in the mood. We want you and Fannie to go. As a matter of fact, if you do go back to the village of Dalton, can you take Fannie Willis with you? Can you take her ass with you? I'm sure that will make Siggy happy. Either way, he doesn't have to get a job, I guess. Siggy can kiss my ass too. I don't care how they feel. This is ridiculous. We're trying to get rid of Fannie. Take Fannie Willis with you. When you go back to Dalton and try to beat Jason House as a Republican in Thornton Township to get your jobs back, take Fannie Willis with you and that ousted judge. This is insane. Here's where, because she claims she got all the support system. Here's where an opportunity for her to talk about her father comes into play. And her whole comment, her response to this, that's why everybody want it so bad. She said me. That's why everybody want me so bad, right? What you said? Property. Okay, come on.
Right, but it's still Chirac. I know people hate that we call Chicago that. It is. I get tired of the fake politicians, and that's why I call it politics, lying on TV.
You said this twice. You explained that dumbass word that still does not exist in the English language or dictionary twice. That word is not recognized in any language here on earth, you dumb alien. Stop trying to define something that you made up. You sound even dumber. The first time you hear, you get a good giggle and a good laugh in. A good laugh has been had by all. Now we're tired of it. You can't name a Republican core value, but you want to be a Republican. Somehow you feel like we need to know the definition of a word you made up, politics, over and over again in the same interview. Are you fucking kidding me?
TV about it's safe. Is this when you bring your butt down here and walk these blocks? Let me see how safe it is.
Because this happened in broad daylight. It was like
broad daylight.
You bring your butt down here where? Are you talking about Atlanta or Chicago? Chirac. What? Can you be specific in which city you're talking about? Because, once again, you live in Atlanta, remember? That's what you said. We don't want you. But that's what you claim you live now. So when you make reference to Chicago or any other state for that matter, why are you still referring to it as if you live there? Oh man, the Fulton County Commissioner board should have seen this video.
Over 6 o'clock afternoon, and
I don't know the time. I just got the call, okay. But yes, it happened in broad day.
You do not know. I would know the time if my father was shot somewhere. God forbid, I would know the time. Do you not have a copy of the police report? Were there no cameras around? So you don't know the facts of that at all? Oh my God, this is painful. This is how she's describing the incident with her father being shot. I haven't even seen any concrete evidence on this. What's the police report?
Daylight, and you know how it go. People shooting at other people, and what always happens.
Innocent bystander. So your dad was just outside or in the car or what?
Yep, outside.
Wow.
How's he doing now?
He's actually doing way, way better. He got a full recovery ahead of himself.
He's doing way, way better. Oh my God, your broken English. I'm trying my best now.
I just said when you get that call and you so far you can't do nothing, and then you got to try to get flights and figure it out, and then your kid in school and I got to take him out of school. It's just so many moving parts that people don't get.
Yeah,
and then
many people get that. You think you're the only person that had a parent injured? You know what it's like to have a parent lost? Let's bless God that he did not die from this gunshot wound. To what now? Was it to the head, chest? What did he get shot at? What's the evidence on this stuff? Oh, man, wouldn't he be all over the news as well? Are you kidding me? Have any one of you all seen like a police report or anything? Was the suspect arrested? It's in Cook County. Was he arrested? Who's suspect? Dalton is outside of Chicago. I don't know. Is it south of Chicago? They call it the South Suburban area, so I'm just going to assume based on that. It's south of Chicago. Does anyone know if the suspect was arrested? She's running from something we don't know about yet. Oh yeah, she's running from the FBI. Because she'll go back for a court hearing for a lawsuit. But I said the same thing, Scorpio. Like her going out of her way to, it's like she vowed, I will never return back up there. And then when they ask her about the FBI, she glosses over it. She does not answer the question about the FBI. I'm a believer in God, but God is not the FBI. And the FBI is not God. I mean, so what are we talking about here? You bringing up God right now with the FBI question? So what does that have to do with the FBI probe? Have you not been subpoenaed? This is crazy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. You can't make this up. Y'all, we got something to read too that just came up today.
What I don't like is how people talk about, oh, now she want to talk about it. I've always been an advocate for Stop the Violence. When I first became mayor, I don't know if you was there, I did the biggest Stop the Violence march in Dalton down Sibley. The biggest. Again, Google for you. That's what I'm saying. People just ain't got the facts. They just go off of what did anybody say, and they just take it as it's the truth, and it's not. That's why you don't see me stopping, or why you can't break my soul. That's why I keep going. Because at the end of the day, if I cared about what people say about me, I would not be this far. I promise you.
You say, nobody knows your heart. Few people know your heart. What does your heart say right now in terms of lessons learned from this whole process, and any different experiences from Illinois to Georgia politics? How does your heart feel? What does your heart say? But lessons learned, things that you'll kind of rethink, or you just kind of know how to navigate a little easier.
Yeah, so I won't allow anybody to push someone down my throat. I won't allow people to pick my administration. The things that actually came with the seat, I would like it to be my choice and my choice alone. That way, you say accountability. I'm accountable for the person I chose. For instance, I chose Dorothy Brown. That was my pick for VA, but my board did not want her.
But she was under investigation at the time.
And
so I'm just saying you should have expected maybe some.
No, he said okay, and because she doesn't care. She thinks she's above the rule of law. She doesn't care about optics, nor can she spell or define such term. You understand that people don't have to vote for someone that's under investigation? That goes for her. If there are FBI subpoenas where everyone around you, including a couple of your relatives, are named in FBI subpoenas, including your dumbass boyfriend you living with, that's still legally married. He's still legally married. You can't even make this up. So it's moron that is named in FBI subpoenas that live in the home with you. You and him occupy the same home. What makes you think that people would look at you and say, oh, yeah, no, you're still good? Naturally, the reasonable viewer and listener would be able to deduce you got someone in your household that you are in a relationship with. You have put that out there too. You want everybody to know you and Siggy are together. Okay, puff, puff, pass. And somehow he's under an investigation, get named in an FBI subpoena. He's a part of an investigation from the FBI, named in a subpoena. And you want people to believe that you don't know anything about what he's been doing that led to him being named in an FBI subpoena. From a grand jury, by the way. These subpoenas were approved by a grand jury. You had to give up exhibits and documentation. He lives in your home, and you expect people to believe that you don't know anything about what led him to being named in an FBI subpoena, what it's regarding, and then want people to assume you have nothing to do with it. Oh my God. The jury would just laugh out loud at that dumb shit. Just for the boldness of assuming that no one should ever question you or look at you sideways when your own partner that you live with full time is being named in FBI subpoenas, and you still can't give an account for some grant for $150,000 that he got, where he named a car wash. It was the meeting spot for this organization for a grant from a government entity. He lists the address of a closed car wash. Yeah, it is where all the kids coming to do homework and shit. We went over this stuff. And she's sitting here like, I don't know none. I'm not a part of none. But the man in your house that you somehow have catapulted to being the leader in your life, a father figure to your daughter who has a dad, by the way, she has a father, but you got Siggy being daddy number 2. Somehow you want people to believe you have nothing to do with why he's named in an FBI subpoena, why he can't give up receipts and reports and documentation to show how this grant money was used that came from a government entity that the FBI is investigating. Really? No, we choose to not be your hentards. We're not for play, and you're not going to play in our faces like this. Now, you might be able to fool your cult members, but that's a small percentage of human beings on earth. Very small. And even if you have all these people sitting here talking about, we support you and love you, Okay, well, let's just challenge that. Go run against Jason House and Napoleon Harris and see if you win. See how much that love they're gonna ooze your way. I mean, her glossing over her father's situation is mind-numbing to me. Almost rude. And then you're talking about, oh, I have nothing to do with the FBI stuff. Nope, don't know anything about that. No, I don't care. Didn't have credit cards. That's your only thing. You think that's all they're talking about in these subpoenas? All they're looking into is a credit card. Like bank statements and bank accounts don't exist. Yeah, okay, come on, girl.
Oh, no, I shouldn't expect that. You know why I shouldn't expect that? Because she was the one that ran our campaign. So she was good enough to get us in office, but she ain't good enough to sit with us. Man, they can miss me with that. I'm not into that because they won because of her. Mm-hmm. So they can say whatever.
And they owe her nothing. If she's under investigation, it is what it is. This is the problem with people like Super Stupid. She thinks she's entitled. No, you're not. And no one owes you shit. No one owes her anything. She actually thinks that they should have allowed her to be picked to work for the village of Dalton because she claims that this Dorothy Brown helped her whole team win. This is not quid pro quo. They don't owe her anything. You're looking at a tick for tack situation unfolding before your eyes. She helped you all win, so you should return the favor and hire her. No. What you mean? No one told her to do anything to land under investigation either. She is a grown woman. Please tell me this Dorothy Brown person is at least 40 years old. Are we talking about some young buck here? Who are we talking about here? How old is Dorothy Brown? This is crazy. How old? Yeah, anyone know how old Dorothy Brown is? Because that woman sounds like she was at least old enough to know better. You can't make this out. And at the end of the day, let's say Dorothy Brown was at least 40 years old. She's a grown woman. Don't nobody owe her anything. No one owes Tiffany Henyard anything. No one owes anybody anything. And I say the same thing when it comes to that guy that shot the basketball player. Names are eluding me right now. Versus and the relationship he had with Jason House. That relationship should not stop any criminal investigation from moving forward. And it certainly should not be the premise of anything when it comes to him being held accountable for taking somebody else's life on video camera. That man should be in jail. I don't care how many properties he bought in the village of Dalton. That's like putting a price tag on somebody's life. The hell are we doing? And the same goes for Tiffany Henyard and this Dorothy Brown. No one owes either of them anything. You still want to deny that you have nothing to do with this FBI investigation? Okay. Yeah, keep saying that. And then when something happens and you get indicted by a grand jury, keep that energy up. Keep that energy up. This is crazy.
I would like it to be my choice and my choice alone. That way, you say accountability. I'm accountable.
Dorothy is not young. I kind of figured that.
For instance, I chose Dorothy Brown. That was my pick for VA, but my board did not want her.
But she was under investigation at the time.
And?
So I'm just saying you should have expected maybe some backlash because of that.
No, I shouldn't expect that. You know why I shouldn't expect that? Because she was the one that ran our campaign. So she was good enough to get us in office, but she ain't good enough to sit with us. Man, they can miss me with that.
Yeah, but when you're talking about an investigation, if she's truly innocent, then you should not even worry about whether or not she gets, selected or voted in one way or the other. What if you handled this appropriately? And let's say, okay, they say we'll compromise. We will allow the investigation to go to completion. And then, depending on the outcome of said investigation, we'll put her back through a vote. That way, if it comes out to where the investigation leads nowhere, then they can at least consider her. But you can't force that on anybody. It's like dictatorship 101. You're taking away the right for this board to operate as a separate but co-equal empowered entity. Even on a local level, you still have that 3-branch government system. You have the judicial, the executive, and the legislative. They all exist separate but co-equal in power. And you're taking away their ability to exercise their power as the legislative board and representation of that by saying, I don't care if you all want to vote for her or not, you owe her because she campaigned for us, so give her a job. You're trying to take their opportunity to say, well, we don't really want to support that right now because she's under investigation. You don't get to interfere with that. You just don't. And she thinks she's above the rule of law. Once again, now she claims to be a Republican. Republicans, y'all cool with this? Y'all cool with this, Republicans?
I'm not into that because they won because of her. Mm-hmm. So they can say whatever. Me and my board, we all won because of her. And I'm saying that to the cameras. So when it's time now, okay, you put people in place that you can trust to make sure everything's good. Not
But what if they did not trust her? They did not have to trust Dorothy Brown. They didn't owe her that. Period. You're throwing a tantrum because other people did not trust her. The hell you mean? You were asking this legislative board to just be stripped of their power to vote and to determine who would be the best candidate. Is the police chief they have right now is sucking ass? Yes. But you're not helping any of this at all. You're showing your hand by showing us that you're basically thinking like a tyrannical dictator. No, I don't want the other 2 branches of government to have any co-equal power. Mine should be absolute, the end. What the hell you mean? Girl, you don't leave this country thinking that somehow this is a dictatorship. Get your ass out of the United States of America. That's not how that works. Even if there is something flawed and it was still dumb decisions made with elections, they still did not owe Dorothy Brown one either. You kidding me?
Tiffany picked this person. I don't even know that person. Who was that? Yeah. And then they the one sabotaging you. No, I would never do that again. So you asked me about lessons that I've learned and things that I would do different. That's one, because I had to get rid of her for other people, not because Tiffany wanted to. I had to do something that somebody else wanted. That's what I mean about politics. Why I got to do?
No, and if the people wanted that, the residents that voted for these trustees as well, then what? They're supposed to be representation of their constituents too. So it's not just their vote and their opinion in this. They're representing the people that elected them. The same how it works for your dumb ass. What's the Republican core values again?
Do what you want to do and not what I want to do. Why can't I have something I want? You pick something you want. This is what I want.
This is not kindergarten.
But now I can't have her. You pick somebody else. And
why can't I have somebody I want? You pick who you want. What you mean? She really thinks this is how life works. Y'all hearing this? She just said the hard part out loud because she's a moron. Why can't I have something I want? You pick who you want, because that's not how it works. Oh, dear Lord.
I'll do that again. So you asked me about lessons that I've learned and things that I would do different. That's one, because I had to get rid of her for other people, not because Tiffany wanted to. I had to do something that somebody else wanted. That's what I mean about politics. Why I got to do what you want to do and not what I want to do? Why can't I have something I want? You pick something you want.
Because you're not a dictator. You're not a damn dictator. As much as you will want to be a dictator and think you're above the rule of law, you're not. You're not a damn dictator. What you mean? I wanted to pick somebody that would, be able to help me cover all this shit up.
This is what I want. I want her. But now I can't have her. You pick somebody else, and now things go. So I'm just giving you examples of what I would do different. I would do that. I will watch the people.
Yeah, no, she would turn this into a dictatorship. I don't care if there's any other branch of government telling me I cannot do this. I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And I'm going to make sure the people are in place to ensure that they help me do what I want to damn do. I want total and absolute control and no one else. I don't care about a board. I don't care about the courts. I don't care about lawsuits. I don't care about wasting my attorney's money and time. I don't care about none of that shit. I want to do what I want to do. Why I can't? Y'all pick who y'all like. I can't pick who I like. What you mean? I want to do what I want to do too. Let me throw my tantrum. What the hell? Can y'all imagine her as a judge? Is there a way you all can just imagine? Just go with me on this. Imagine Tiffany Henyard went to law school, came out, got her Juris Doctor degree, and decided to be an attorney. And then somehow somebody picked her to be a judge, or she was elected because they're elected judges. And then all of a sudden, she thinks that she can just be queen of the court. Can y'all imagine herself as a judge? Even worse, a federal judge. You know, one of those lifetime appointments. Can you all imagine this? Oh my God. Imagine Tiffany Henyard as a federal judge. Boy, you talking about 24/7 torture. Tiffany, you are painful. You are painful. Oh, you have the ability to give everybody a migraine. Can you all imagine Tiffany Henyard as a federal judge with this mentality, this level of thinking? You're talking about being biased on steroids, aided by nuclear power. This girl would literally have an entire investigation opened against her within the first 6 months. Heifer, you would not have lasted 6 months as a federal judge. No way. You would not. They would have had to remove you by impeachment. Oh my God. I cannot even imagine her as an attorney or a judge where you're making decisions that would affect someone's life, livelihood, quality of life, their liberty and freedom. I can't imagine this. Holy Jesus. And she's sitting here talking about why I can't have who I want. I want to do what I want to do. Say what you mean. Yeah, y'all went and did this, and I want to do that, and because of reasons. And it's all about me. God. Oh my God.
Around me, as it relates to, hey, I want to run with you. Mm-hmm. Hey, can I be a part of the administration? You get a lot of them people come, people just plant them.
Sure.
That's why I always say, watch the company you keep. And right now, it's being Kamal. That's it.
I got you.
And that's I'm gonna just throw this out there.
Mm-hmm. Not a day.
I wish you all the best in whatever it is that you do. But in case you do not get this, what's next for Tiffany Henyard?
Well, they gotta stay tuned. I got a lot of things brewing. I try not to give too much.
A lot of things. Why can't it be just, so far I'm running a skateboard shop where we sell shoes and shit and shorts. And then I have my daughter, because being a mom is, a full-time job. Never ends. I have a lot of things brewing. None of this somehow involves you taking care of your father. It's just me and Cabal, the cigarette, that's it. His cigarettes. Wait a minute. You have a dad who was shot. Your father was shot. But it's just you and Siggy. Boy, your dad should be mad hearing this shit.
Just a little bit. A little bit.
Say she got a reality show.
A little bit.
Hey, y'all can talk that into existence.
A reality show?
She can't barely talk. Talking about maybe y'all can talk that into existence now. No. When you master English, that's it. You just master it. We still don't owe you anything.
The reality show, hey, if it comes, it comes. But I am working on a docuseries.
Okay.
So I'm working on that currently now. We had talks with different companies or whatever. So I want to give that out yet. Who's gonna pick it up? I'm just waiting for that.
You like the spotlight. Be honest. I like the spotlight. I'm being honest.
No, not the spotlight. I go looking for it. No,
I didn't say that.
Not at all.
She finds you.
She does go looking for it. Did y'all not see the video of her at the White House? Just a flat out fool. If y'all haven't seen her recording herself live streaming at the White House, you should see that. That is the epitome of her wanting attention on herself. All the mayors that are there She the only one acting like she's never been to the White House in her entire life. You've never stepped foot in the White House? I mean, just loud and hood. Because, chicken head, squabble, squabble. This girl was live streaming herself in the White House yelling, I did it. Check me out. Buy my t-shirts. Like, you're here in the White House. Turn the phone off. What the hell? I was like, I know this heifer's not live streaming the White House like this. So no respect for our executive branch of government at all? Oh, okay, cool. God, that's how she was cutting up. It's like watching a kid at Christmas who's never had Christmas sit here and open everybody's gifts, not just their own. And then running around and bragging about it. That's what she was doing. That's how she was acting. She was on level 1000. I mean, just flat out chicken head hood rat.
Do you like the spotlight a little bit? A little bit. Do you like being in front of the camera? Do you like advocating for your?
I just like the fight. Okay. I'm not like.
I'm so glad she said that. That's one thing we can agree to. She does like to fight everybody and everything for all the reasons, and none of it still makes any sense. She fights the law. She fights the courts. She fights judges. She fights the police and the fire department. She fights her own trustees. She fights everybody and everything that does not fall in line with her bullshit because she thinks she's a dictator. She fights everybody and everything. It's nothing but a fight with her. There's never any compromise or transparency or anything. She still will not tell people that she settled in the court when it came to her removing the village clerk from the bank account. She came back out to a public media and lied and said, they removed me. No, you agreed to stay off of it as a signatory. Or else it would have went to trial. You understand that matter had to be resolved in court. I don't care if she understands it or not. That's how it works. That case could not be open forever. Once she decided to resolve by settling it, they closed the case. That's it. They consider the matter resolved. But she will not tell people that. And the lies that she tells is so stupid. They're also repetitive. This woman is still lying on the same dumb shit to this very day. She's just repeating her lies over and over and over again. And yet you have goons and simps that are sitting here talking about, I don't want her to fail. Who's wishing that? She's setting herself up for failure. Put the accountability where it belongs, on her. She's a grown-ass woman. Hopping on her losses that she took last year. Still talking about something being illegal. But yet the court and the judge said there was nothing illegal about it. You could not present a legal argument if your life depended on it. And you can't show what law supports any of this bullshit you're saying. This is just all based on how you feel. We're not here for that. She's still at it with the same old dumb lies over and over and over and over again. Incessantly. She doesn't even think twice about it. She will tell the same lie from here to eternity. Judgment Day is going to be a rude awakening on her. For real.
So, I got to have this. Because to me, you get more done being private. Prime example, we've been there over a year. But yet now everybody finding out that we there. Now we get houses on the internet, this and that. Why? Nobody knew we was there. See what I'm saying? You get more done in private. So no, this ain't my word right here. I don't care for that. But I will talk that talk.
But you do, because you're there. If you don't care for that, why the hell are you on this podcast? You do understand that you went viral because of your corruption, because of investigations now being done by FBI to people even affiliated with you, including your dumbass bar friend. And I said that way for a reason. This is nonsense. You wanted to force the board to elect vote on someone working that was under investigation. Funny how Siggy is not out here trying to get a job. And yet they both want to live and exist as if he's not named in an FBI subpoena. Go figure. Why can't Siggy get a job again? Because obviously you're not going to win So why don't you just tell him, look, bro, you and I both know I don't have a shot in hell winning this. So you might want to think about updating your resume, because you and I both should be paying bills together. Her store ain't bumping like that. If it were, she would not care about running for any Fulton County commissioner at all. For someone that keeps complaining about politics and dumb shit she keeps making up, she's busting her neck to try to stay on a ballot. If you did not care, then why even run in the first place? And why not take this shit back to Dalton and Thornton Township? Test your luck up there and see if you will win this time. Yeah, because all the Hentards are clucking and they love her so much.
Oh, but because I talk that talk, that it comes with that. And that's fine. But now I got to try to figure out how to use the platform to better community and better our situation, so we not always under scrutiny of where we lay our head at, because our kid is with us. And that's what I say, that people don't understand that part.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, Super Mayor, thank you so much for talking to us. I really appreciate even this level of trust, because, like I said, you don't have to talk to folks, and the fact that you would sit down.
No, she doesn't.
I really believe that your story, your journey is one that you can't tell in sound bites. You know, the story that you're going to get on the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock news is not going to tell the full story of Tiffany Henyard, whether we agree.
No, we know the full story. She's a liar. She lied like hell. And then the topics that she should have divulged on, she didn't. She completely just swerved around the topic of the FBI. Just act like it didn't even come up. You know, I love Jesus, and Jesus loves me. This I know. For the Bible tells me so. Little one, him below, they be weak, and I be strong. Oh God, she's so embarrassing.
Disagree, so I really do appreciate just this trust you talking to us, you sharing your side, but being open to hear other sides, and we really wish you well.
Thank you.
And I want to be on a reality show.
We working on it. But can I say this though? Please follow me.
I don't know if I want to be on a reality show.
What? No. You don't want the spotlight. Remember, why are you telling people to follow you? Why are you on social media? It would be different if you on social media strictly for you running as a candidate for something. No, you want people to follow you, and you have not won anything in any position at all. Why are you telling people to follow you? Because she wants the spotlight so bad. She thinks she's a dictator.
My website is Tiffany for Fulton, and it's spelled TIFFANY FOR FULTON.com. That's my website. And you can follow me at Politics with Tiffany Henyard, and that's on YouTube. So if you want to follow me,
she actually, man, you proud of this damn fictitious word that's not real? She is proud of this word to where she put it in her YouTube channel tag. It's not a real word. It's slang. And she's sitting here talking about people don't know that I have a degree in business administration.
Talk about the latest politics, definitely tune in.
And you're on social media, so people know where to find you.
Everybody know, but I gotta plug me,
Listen, you plug you a lot. You may not want to admit it, but you plug you a lot. Wrap it up, Beyonce.
Yes. Thank you again, Tiffany. We appreciate you for coming on to the podcast, and we want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page right here, because we don't want you to miss out. We definitely don't want you to miss Tiffany.
That's a wrap for now. We'll see you next time.
That was painful. That was absolutely painful. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. That was painful. Girl, all you did was lie. All you did was lie. Boy, once again, I have to ask y'all, my brother in Christ, Jay Witt. I have to ask Republicans, is Tiffany Henyard what you want? Does she represent you? Because I'm curious to know what the hell. This is crazy. Hannibal did a video on this as well. His is relatively short. And then we're going to check out and go to the next live stream after this about Candice. I know I'm running behind on everything, but
I never had a credit.
I really wanted to see Hannibal's video on this. I haven't been able to watch it. Make sure you guys go check out Hannibal is Hungry. Of course, he has, a phenomenal platform, and he's been keeping his foot on Tiffany Henyard's neck from, day one for a while. He has over 185,000 subs. I'm very proud of him. I remember when he was about 60, 70,000 in. Been following Hannibal is Hungry for a while. I actually found out about Tiffany Henyard listening to Pink Book lessons. So she did a great job as well. There are fantastic content creators that have been reporting on this idiot. So I want to hear what Hannibal has to say. Y'all make sure you guys hit the 4 when you can see in here. Let's go.
Card. I never did any of the spending.
Have the feds contacted you?
I have nothing to do with anything that's going on. That's not what a mayor does. Now, don't get me wrong. It might be some mayors that have that, but not this mayor, not Tiffany, because I didn't care about that. Think about it. You just said I made that kind of money. Why do I need the villages or the township's money or credit card?
Why did you make that switch from Democrat to Republican?
Because I was a part of the Democrat Party for about the last 15 years, and the things that the party allows and does, I can't stand for or with. So I'm ready to spread my wings and be the Republican conservative that I am, because I believe in building. I believe in infrastructure and growth and opportunities within the Black and brown community. I'm tired of the Democrats study talking about let's fix. But yet the Black and brown community still have poverty, still have all these problems and issues, and they're not being fixed. Yeah, I care about structure that we don't have right now in the Democrat Party.
So Tiffany Henyard is back. She sat down for a podcast last week, a very friendly one, softball interview. But it's in a new state, new party. One problem, though, it's the same script, same attitude, same nobody else's fault kind of flow. Let's see what she had to say. Let's get into it.
Have the feds contacted you?
I have nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Okay.
You let people do what they do, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, I just want people to see the real Tiffany.
The man asked her a yes or no question. Have the feds contacted you? And what does she say? Not a no or yes. Quote, I have nothing to do with anything that's going on. That is not a denial. Either they contact you or they didn't. I guess in her head, by saying that the FBI contacted her would be an admission of guilt, but it's just a simple question. The FBI investigation isn't a rumor. There were subpoenas served on Dalton and Thornton Township, named her directly, along with her political committee, her cancer charity, her boyfriend, etc., etc. The probe includes a $200,000 payment to a contractor whose owner was convicted of bribery and sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. So when she says nothing to do with anything, the federal grand jury seems to disagree. When the questions have some level of teeth in them, she gets really, really vague. Watch how this pattern unfolds. But before we keep going, a quick word from the people who keep the lights on. If you care, let's screw it.
I love you.
You had access to credit cards. Those were not board approved. You could just swipe a card.
Oh, no. You got that all false.
Okay, well, educate me.
That's why we need to hear from you, because when I heard about that Amazon bill, I was like, wait a minute.
Because reading is not fundamental. When they could just do a little research and background check on this and to be able to fact check her. Now, they want her to tell them what she wants to lie and twist up regarding credit cards. Because they could have just, if you don't want to trust the media, read the court documents. They didn't know about this. They hadn't heard of it. Means you did not do your homework. Super stupid. You wouldn't last 3 minutes over here, girl.
Now, that much on Amazon?
Right. So that's what I mean when I say fake news. How the spin of how the wordplay go, and how people just say one thing and then people just take it for it.
But she never said, yeah, no, I did not make that purchase. Once again, yes or no. Did you use a credit card? Did you purchase this at Amazon or Wayfair? They're trying to spin it and got to put it in the wash machine and watch it tumble over and dry. What the hell? Yes or no?
Truth. And it's not.
Well, tell us the truth. What
so
happened?
The truth is I never had a credit card. I never did any of the spending. I've said this verbally in board meetings. I said in my lives. I said everywhere, because that's not what a mayor does. Now, don't get me wrong. It might be some mayors that have that, but not this mayor, not Tiffany, because I didn't care about that. Think about it. You just said I made that kind of money. Why do I need the villages or the township's money or credit card?
So this is something we heard before. She likes to tell you that she never had a credit card, never did any spending, calls it fake news. But when you really think about what's going on here, obviously someone directed the credit card to be spent. If you notice what happened with the Lori Lightfoot investigation, credit card usage in Dalton jumped to nearly $780,000 between 2022 and 2024. And Lightfoot couldn't even determine what a lot of these purchases were or whether they served any municipal purpose. The village literally froze the credit card after a $20,000 plus trip to Vegas on a taxpayer dime, then required board approval for any further charges. And the FBI subpoena, it specifically demanded her credit card expenditures going back to 2021. So which is it? You never had a credit card, or they had to take one from you? You can't freeze something that doesn't exist. This isn't a spin that you can really split the difference on. The paper says one thing, but she's saying the complete opposite. What I think is what she's trying to do is when things get really rough, she can just say, it wasn't me, I didn't do this, and pin the blame on someone else. Even though she's the mayor, she's directing everything. Why would they be spending the credit card on other things if the mayor was not approving it?
So I really was gearing it towards those that didn't have it. And it was successful. A lot of roofs got fixed, a lot of leaky windows got fixed. And after that, I was getting too much credit. So as I was getting the credit, my hating board was hating and say, well, how's she doing this? And I bought it before the board. I bought a lot of things before the board, but they don't show you that. And that's the part that I don't like about politics. Because the statement goes, if you can trick them, you can beat them. So if they trick the residents to believe in this, then guess what? Here I am, right? But if the resident was just did research and fact check stuff, they will see that I truly care for them. Now they're feeling it. I get calls left and right about, man, Tiffany, come back. We miss you. We need you. Run again.
Here's the move. Everyone who came at her, tricked, bored, or jealous, the trustees were bums looking for crumbs. The journalists flew in for clicks, and the residents, her own people, got tricked. Her whole defense is the reality that everything was a conspiracy, and she was the only honest person standing in it. Now, the problem is, I understand Illinois politics. It is a brutal, brutal combat sport. But all she had to do was not spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on travel, maybe stop some of those things, maybe not have her boyfriend getting paid a whole bunch of money and not really showing what the hell he did. I mean, there's a lot of things that she did that brought all this attention to her. She tries to use the race angle, which I don't understand because the trustees challenging her were black. Almost everyone that's in this situation going back and forth in Dalton was black, except the lawyers. I guess you could say that. But other than that, what conspiracy to take down a black woman happened in Dalton? What happened was WGN documented over $102,000 in taxpayer travel in a single year. First class flights, luxury hotels. So when she's telling you to do your own research, you can do it because the research doesn't exonerate her. The research is a receipt. That's the whole tell with this whole interview. She keeps pointing at a document that when you actually pull it, it says that she was the problem. Was she the only problem? Probably not. But you're the mayor. It starts at the top. When things are not working well, everyone points that to the leader. What are you doing to make things better?
Let's talk about the salary. And I ain't trying to take over your interview, but we don't go there. So why is it when he had the salary, he had it for 30 years? I didn't even know Frank made that kind of money. But when
but you could have looked it up because that's public information. Did y'all know her salary? The people on the trustees, these people in government entity, period. The salary is a public information. So she didn't read either, because we all know she doesn't, but she didn't even bother to look up his salary. No, you did. You knew how much he was making. He was there in that position for 30 years, according to you. But he built up to that point. After 30 years of service, his salary should have increased. It should have gone up. And as opposed to you pointing out the stuff he was doing that you claim was so bad, when you were a trustee, why didn't you bring that up? When did she bring up Frank Zuccarelli when he was still alive, while she was a trustee? And to say, we need to investigate why he's putting his name on food boxes. Did she bring that up? Because she knew what type of money he was making. That's why she sat here, and it seemed like one or two of those trustees were at least bullied or threatened to vote for her in the midnight hour to become supervisor of Thornton Township, as opposed to saying, in that situation, let's put that vote in the hands of the residents. So when it comes down to her getting a vote from the trustees to be the supervisor, forget the citizens and the residents that didn't have the chance to vote. But when it comes to that caucus with Napoleon Harris, all of a sudden, That's illegal. You took the vote away from the people. You took the voice away from the people. You did the same thing when you allowed the trustees to vote for you in Thornton Township. And that midnight hour vote. You did the same thing when you failed to say, listen, I want to be, the successor right now for supervisor of Thornton Township. Frank Zuccarelli had died. And so they filled that position. As opposed to them having the vote go to the residents, they were robbed of that. We went over that actual voting process, that meeting, where she was voted in the midnight hour. And the one vote that took her over was from the late Chris Gonzalez, because he's now deceased. But she took the voice of the people away by not at the very least saying, listen, I want to try to do this the right way. Can you all just let the residents vote and go from there? What was all that energy at when you were being voted in by the board to be supervisor of Thornton Township? Where the hell was all that energy at then? See, here's the thing with the hypocrisy part. Narcissists do not care about being hypocritical. That they're too self-absorbed. And then when you have this type of narcissism where she's incapable of taking any accountability or responsibility whatsoever, it's just deplorable and disgusting. And the hypocrisy is so blatant and just visible. A blind person can see the hypocrisy in this. But do you hear these hentards sitting here telling her, no, you did the same thing when you became supervisor of Thornton Township? Because the residents was asking that in the actual video. When the vote was occurring. They went out, did executive sessions, came back. All of a sudden, the board voted for her to be supervisor. What was all that energy at to put the vote in the hands of the people? What was that energy at? She knew damn well how much money he was making, Frank Zuccarelli was making, plus all the other incentives. She was getting an $1,100 monthly car allowance. She knew that. But if she didn't care, she should have said what she's screaming now: illegal. You don't have any sportsmanship. Let the people decide. And if I win, I win. If I lose, whatever. I highly doubt Frank Zuccarelli even wanted her to be the next supervisor. But why not put that in the hands of the people? Why not let that moment become the voice of the residents? Nope. Once again, when it's the other way around, she doesn't even try to look at it and say, I got bested. I got beat at my own game. Napoleon weaponized and used the law. And I can't talk because I was voted in by the board to be supervisor of Thornton Township. I didn't let the residents vote. Now that hypocrisy is going to go over her empty ass head. Because this poor brat thinks she's a dictator. What a hentar is that telling her about that though? They don't even bring that up and say, no, she should have let the people vote for that. Nope. Too much like right. Because hypocritical oomph and all.
Just to make sure the people are aware.
Sure.
So we're talking about two different seats, you all. We're talking about the mayor of Dalton seat, and we're talking about the supervisor of Thornton Township. Supervisor of Thornton Township, that's the $200,000 plus salary.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Yes, that Frank Zuccarelli had. Mm-hmm. And when I got appointed to the seat, it came with the seat. I didn't make it up. I didn't create it. It came with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, this one, she's actually telling some level of the truth here. That the $200,000 plus supervisor salary came from her predecessor, Frank Zuccarelli, who held that seat since the early 90s. Now she's leaving out some things, considering that salary was higher than 49 of the 50 state governors, including Pritzker. And then while she didn't create the number, she absolutely created a law to try to protect it, a maneuver that dropped the supervisor pay to as low as $25,000, but only for a successor. If she won, she kept the $200,000.
Exactly. That's what we said in the video when we were checking out the interview. It was only for the position, if she lost the position. You don't create that type of contingency in law. You can't say in ordinance, state, statute, federal code, I don't care. This only applies if I lose. You're literally trying to manipulate local laws to bend in your favor. We got to point it out when Napoleon Harris do it. We definitely going to say it when this chicken head, dumbass, narcissistic cult leader does it as well. You cannot create that. Is unlawful. You cannot sit here and create an ordinance to say only if I lose does the salary go down. That's it. And then you wonder why. And this is what led to, not that Napoleon Harris should be excused for what he did, but this is what happens when you don't get on the person that's perpetuating the bullshit. Then the person coming after her, guess what? Took some bill about Crohn's disease and put language in it. He didn't co-author the bill, but he knew that bill was going to be passed because it would affect his income. And they hid some language in a bill dealing with Crohn's disease to keep the salary in place at the 6 figure. So now Napoleon still has it. Because now you're going to have this pattern of behavior where it's, well, you know, she did it. Well, I can't do it. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. It's not fair. Y'all didn't get her this. Y'all gave her that money. Now I can't get it. Now you have a whole law dealing with Crohn's disease that also solidifies this 6-figure income for a supervisor of a township. This is so ridiculous. But of course, she's not going to talk about this, you know, because reading is not fundamental, her dumb ass.
The rival one, they got crumbs. Trustee says, and that really didn't matter because the successor, Napoleon Harris, another crook, he was able to finesse the salary, keep that heavy salary by putting it into a Crohn's disease bill. Like I said, was Henyard the only problem? No, but she probably was one of the bigger problems.
What does your heart say right now in terms of lessons learned from this whole process and any different experiences from Illinois to Georgia politics? How does your heart feel? What does your heart say? But lessons learned, things that you'll kind of rethink, or you just kind of know how to navigate it.
Yeah, so I won't allow anybody to push someone down my throat. I won't allow people to pick my administration. The things that actually came with the seat, I would like it to be my choice and my choice alone. That way.
And never mind if there's a, you know, whole ballot with a ticket, right? And people still get to vote for the people on your ticket. Because you saying, if I put 5 people on my ticket, if y'all vote for me, these people automatically come with me. Not if they have to be voted in. Not if they have to be elected. You can't put 5 people on a ballot, and I'm just throwing out a random number, and say, voting for me is also simultaneously voting for all these other people. No, the board itself should be separate but co-equal in power. That also means that the people have the right to elect the board of trustees. How do you take that away from the will of the people? So what if they vote for you but don't want 3 of the trustees on your ticket? So you mean to tell me if all your people on your ticket don't win, that you're going to step down? Because you know, look who we're dealing with. If she has 5 people on her ticket, 3 of them don't win. She's not the type where she's going to say, well, either you all have to accept everyone on my ticket or no one. That includes me. So I will not accept this position if you guys cannot vote for every person on my ticket. You think she would say that? Because that's what she's trying to say here. I'm going to put in the people I want, not if they have to be elected. The hell you will. That's not how that works.
You say accountability. I'm accountable for the person I chose. For instance, I chose Dorothy Brown. That was my pick for VA, but my board did not want her.
But she was under investigation.
So you asked me about lessons that I've learned and things that I would do different. That's one, because I had to get rid of her for other people, not because Tiffany wanted to. I had to do something that somebody else wanted. That's what I mean about politics. Why I got to do what you want to do and not what I want to do? Why?
Because you don't override the board. They represent the legislative branch of government. You do not override it. They are separate but co-equal in power at the end. No one cares for you to be a dictator. Take that bullshit somewhere else.
Can I have something I want? You pick something you want. This is what I want. I want her. But now I can't have her. You pick somebody else, and now things go.
As if she's the only person.
This is where the rebrand falls apart completely. The host handed her the easiest layup in podcast history. What did you learn, and what would you do differently? This is the moment. This is where a person will say, I would watch my spending. Maybe I wouldn't be going on so many first-class flights. Maybe I'll be more transparent. Maybe I made some calls I regret. What did she say? Her big lesson is she should have had more control. Her mistake was trusting her board. When you actually follow a lot of the meetings from way back, I don't think she trusted her board for very long. But her takeaway from a term that drew a federal investigation, tons of embarrassment for the area, is that she needed fewer checks on her, not more. Now, maybe this is a way for her to continue to say that she's not guilty, but with a grand jury looking at how her administration ran the money and her answer being, I should have had more power, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not the flex.
The FBI watching.
Every single misstep she names is someone else's fault. It's the board, it's the picks, it's the people. She's redefining accountability. She's saying, I'm accountable for the staff that I choose. But that's not true accountability. So when you think about it, there's no reflection here. There's no reckoning. It's just a rebrand with nothing rebuilt underneath. Let's call it for what it is. This wasn't a comeback interview. This was more like a commercial. She's in a new state, new party, but the same flat out denials, the same as everyone else's fault, the same zero accountability. She couldn't name one thing that she would do differently that was actually about her. It doesn't really matter at this point. Fulton County is heavily Democratic. She's just there to put her name on there so she could try to sell something. It is what it is. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Thank you.
Y'all, man, Hannibal. Shout out to Hannibal, you all. This was good. I appreciate all of you all tuning in. Man, we had to do this because I just, it's the bullshit for me. And this is how you call out narcissism. At the very least, you daring us to do our read and research and do our homework for ourselves. Do you understand that there are millions of people that can read better than you? When you can't say words correctly and then you try to hide your broken English by actually making up words like politrick, and it's not defined in the English language. We are reading. You are just incapable of reading. Don't dare people to find evidence on you, to do research on you, and to debunk you, and they get mad when we do just that. Like Hannibal said, we got the papers here. We got the documentation. But the moment you get it, now all of a sudden, she wants you to tap into this alternate reality where we're not in the mood. You and the Hentards can live in that alternate reality until Jesus comes. We don't owe you a trip to your alternate reality. We do not have to sit here and let you try to pull the wool face over our eyes. You guys have to listen to me. Go on what I say. Do what I do. Trust only me and no one else but me. You sound like a cult leader. You're taking away free will from people being able to make a choice. You did that when you became supervisor. But then all of a sudden it's illegal when a legal process was initiated through a caucus. And then you wonder why you lost like hell in court and it was dismissed with prejudice. Because you're not that smart. Why won't you let your dad move in with you again? Okay. She's a cult leader. I've been saying this since day one. You see people like her coming a mile away. All that narcissism and hypocrisy and dumb shit and buffoonery she puts up, all her lies on auto repeat. She's repeating herself over and over again. Get the F out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you all. Thank you so much for the support. Hit the like button and share this. Make sure you all hype this up. And if you can join me in the next live, please do so. We're going to be going in on Candice and how the FBI handled her, rightfully so. And until the next one, thank you all so much. Lady Luck Club out. Thesis.